This is the plaintiff, Stacy Hanna. She says she and the defendant cleaned houses together, and the double-crossing defendant hasn't paid her in full for her services. She did her job well, due to her meticulous nature, and deserves to be compensated in full. That's why she's suing for every penny of the $778.01 she's owed. This is the defendant, Wendy Johnson. She says the plaintiff wasn't one of the best workers in the world, if you know what she means. The woman would come in late, leave early, and she should be happy she got paid what she did for the incomplete work she performed. She's accused of taking a worker to the cleaners.
Stacy Hanna, you are suing your former friend Wendy Johnson for $778.01 that you want her to pay you in unpaid wages because you helped her clean houses and you were supposed to split the fee for that. Tell me what happened.
That's correct. Your Honor, on the evening of the 23rd of August, I was approached by Wendy and her mother. They said, do you want to make a lot of money? And I said, sure. I could use the extra cash. And I, at that time, indicated that I needed to find daycare or aftercare for my son, because I am a stay-at-home mother. And the following week, I had that worked out. Tanner was able to attend aftercare at his school.
And then you were going to make money by doing what?
I was going to clean houses with Wendy, and that's exactly what we did on the 28th of August.
Okay, and then how do you get your clients?
I work for a small company, K&M Cleaning
Is it your
Solutions.
company?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so they just farm it out. They have people
My boss told me if I wanted someone to work with me, I could do that. I could get somebody to run and clean houses with me so I could get more work and make more money. And then I would have more time to spend with my son.
How does, do any of you do the math? If you split the fee, then you're making less money. I don't know, is there a geometric speed to having two people?
It is faster with two people.
Of course it's faster,
right.
But
So
then you're
can
gonna
still
split
get
half the money and then
Right.
you have to do the next house. So unless two cleans the house 3 times as fast, the math doesn't work. Well, whatever. So that's what you decide to do. And so what do you get paid for houses and what do you get paid for apartments?
It varies. I get anywhere between $100 and $200 per house. And then apartments, I get either 50 or 55 based on one bedroom.
Is that
or
what
two
she had
bedroom.
told you?
That isn't what she told me, Your Honor.
What had she told you?
She told me that the houses were $100 a piece and the apartments were $35 a piece.
Oh. For you?
Yes. That
Oh,
would be
your
my
half
cut of
would be
it.
100 and your half would be 35?
We would both get $35 for
You
the
would each
apartment.
get $35 for an apartment and you
That's
would
correct.
each get $100 for a house.
for the house.
Okay. So how many houses and apartments did you clean?
We cleaned 4 homes and 4 apartment homes.
And that's how you get your 540. 4 times 100 and 4 times 35.
That's
Let me
correct.
ask you a question. How did it go working with her?
Well, she took a lot of smoke breaks, which I was pretty perturbed about that because I just cleaned constantly, continually, and meticulously.
Well, how
So
was her
she
cleaning
took-
when she wasn't smoking?
Pardon?
How was her cleaning when she wasn't smoking?
I assumed she was doing well. I was in other rooms doing my things, doing blinds and, wiping down things, scrubbing things. She typically did the kitchen.
Okay.
And I worked in other areas.
Okay. How many days did these 4 houses and 4 apartments take?
In total, 6 days. There were 6
And
trips.
so when were you expecting to be paid? Because after the first day, when you don't get paid at the end of the day, don't you say, hey, what the heck?
Yeah. Well, her mother led me to believe that she was...
Why is your mother involved?
My mother didn't lead her to believe anything.
No, why is your mother involved at all?
I live with my mom.
Yeah, but does your mother work in this business?
No, what it is that my mom is best friends with Stacy's sister, and so that's how she got involved.
Okay, well, go ahead.
So obviously they sought me out because assuming that I would be a hard worker and a good worker.
Okay.
Or
But when does a good hard worker expect to be paid?
Right.
What was the deal? You were supposed to be paid when?
I was supposed to get paid when Wendy got paid, but then the first paycheck.
So you are supposed to wait for it. So that explains why you kept working without getting paid.
Yes,
because you
that's
haven't
correct.
All
Yeah,
right, so then your paycheck comes when?
My first paycheck I didn't get for 4 weeks because my boss held back 2 weeks and I had to wait.
Why?
that's just how she runs her business. So if someone cops out on her, she doesn't lose out on gear or chemicals or anything like that. So I had to wait 4 weeks before my first paycheck.
Did you ever tell her that?
Yes.
Okay. Did she tell you that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And
Absolutely told her
that. So when you did get paid, what did you get paid?
The one she did work on with me on is $975 check I got, and I paid her $185 already.
Just a second. Can I see the $975 check?
Yes, ma'am.
And does it itemize the houses?
No, ma'am.
Oh, well, then how will I know that covers all 8 houses? I won't know.
It's got the dates on it.
From what day to what day were you cleaning the houses? Ms.
Your
Hannah?
Honor, that would be, we started cleaning on August 28th, and we finished up on September 7th.
This paycheck is for August 29th through September 11th. I mean, you know you're being sued for a specific days on the specific houses she specifically worked with you on. If you're telling me, no, Judge, I'm not, because you admit that you get 100 to 200 a house, 50 to, you actually said 50 to 60 in your answer to the complaint. It's all very vague. If you were paid specifically X on these houses, did you get something from your employer that says how much you got for the specific work that involved her? Because you know which houses to ask about.
Right. No, I didn't. I didn't get copies of that, but I will say.
How are you going to prove what you owe her?
Well, I can't prove, but how can she prove that that's what
Well,
they
because
paid?
you admit that you get 100 to 200 a house, and why would I let you say, oh, it was way less without proving it was way less? She says, I'm supposed to get 100 per house, I'm supposed to get 35 per apartment.
Right, and we split that.
Oh, no. She says she's supposed to get 100,
No,
which would be
ma'am.
the case if you got 200 per house. So if you want to tell me that she knew she was only splitting 150 with you for that house, prove to me that that's what you got paid on that house. I mean, you're not even doing that.
Right.
So how are you suing for daycare and gas?
Well, Your Honor, I had to enroll Tanner.
No, I don't care. Listen, when I want to get to work, I also have to pay. I have to pay
that's
for
correct.
gas.
That's
I have to
correct.
pay for my car payment. But why
That's
does my
fine.
employer have to pay me that? In other words, had she paid you the $540, we wouldn't even be here. And she sure as heck would not be paying your daycare or your gas.
That's
so
true.
court is about making you whole, not giving you a bonanza and putting you in a better position than you would have been in.
So, okay, this could be a trick question. Can 2 people clean a house at least twice as fast as one person doing it?
No, not necessarily. The 2 people can just visit and take their time, and one person can just really get in and go at it.
Well, okay, but let's assume 2 people do a reasonable job as they walk in. Does it stand to reason that the 2 of them can clean the house at least twice as fast as one could?
I would think they could because they can cover more ground.
Do they ever step on each other?
They could split it up. You do the kitchen, I do the other
That's
half.
true. Okay, nobody's biting. Going inside the courtroom.
All right, now you say you paid her some of this. How much do you say you paid her?
I paid her $185, Your Honor, and when I went to go pay her another $50, she refused it and told
Okay,
me.
and is it accurate that she paid you $185?
No, her mother did.
Okay, but it's how much did you receive for pay?
$80 cash.
No, she says $185.
That's false. It's $80 cash, and I needed the money, so
What
I
was the
drove
rest of
over.
it? What was the other 105 then?
It's a fictitious
Nothing.
amount.
It didn't
It's
exist.
nothing. It never happened.
You didn't get a check or something
No,
else?
ma'am. Nothing at all.
How are you going to prove the $185 you paid her? Do you have a receipt?
I don't. No, I
Okay,
sure
you got a
don't.
lot to learn about business.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Is there? Did you have a witness?
My mother.
Is she here?
No.
No. Well, that's not
I
going to do
can't
much
prove.
good.
No, you're right. I can't prove a thing.
You have the burden of proving payment.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you pay her $185? You gave it
Cash.
to your mother?
Yeah, I had to go to work. My mom stays at home.
Are you sure your mother didn't need 105?
I'm sure.
When you want to prove payment, you have to have proof of it, and especially if you're in the business of paying somebody wages, and apparently she was complaining at this point from the beginning, right? Like at the time when you were going to pay her, she immediately said, "What the heck, sis?"
No, ma'am. When my mother gave her the $185, she was fine with it. When we went to go pay her again the $50, she was uneasy with that. Told my mom to go herself. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Did you tell her mother to go?
I
Like,
certainly did not. I would not
I wish
do
your mom
that.
was here.
I
I'd
wish she
love to
was
hear from your
too.
mom. All right.
I do too.
I find that she's entitled to $540. I find that you're able to prove $80 in payment because she admits to that. I find that even though you could prove $185 by bringing me the witness who paid her the $185 or an affidavit from her or anything, you're kind of really unprepared. And I find in favor of the plaintiff, therefore, in the amount of $460. You're not entitled to daycare or gas. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff didn't get quite everything she sued for, but she did win this case against you because why didn't you bring more evidence?
Yes. I just didn't prepare good enough, I guess.
So why didn't you?
Why didn't I? It was a short amount of time, stressful times. I'm working constantly, so I just didn't have time to get it done.
Well, how come when you make payment, don't you get a receipt to prove it?
Yes, and that was my mistake and a
So
lesson
you've
learned.
Yes. You still in this business?
Yes, I am.
Right. And so what have you learned now from losing this case?
Always get receipts, always make work logs, history, get statements that
That's
are
how you do
notarized.
business now?
Yes,
Okay.
that's absolutely.
All right. So come on in here. Satisfied how this comes out?
I certainly am. I thought that there was a lot of false representation and
Where?
Concerning her remarks and promises made that weren't delivered. So
You have any second thoughts about going into business with her originally?
No, I didn't actually.
How about now?
I certainly do. The age differential, there's several factors that
You shouldn't have done it?
I should not have done it.
Okay. Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, if you're in business and you have to prove that you made payment to various people, you are insane not to keep a ledger. But beyond a ledger, if you don't write checks where you have something clear and something you can hold, at the very least, write an email to the other person forcing them to acknowledge if they didn't get paid.
These are the plaintiffs, Tariq Simon and Rebecca Blazkowicz. Tariq says he and his girlfriend rented an apartment from the defendant who promised to clean the place and make repairs before they moved in, and she most definitely did not. The place was a bloomin' bug-infested mess. The defendant refuses to discuss the matter and has also ignored their requests for a refund. They have no choice but to sue for treble damages in the amount of $2,700. This is the defendant, Nicole. She says she really worked with the plaintiffs and tried to accommodate their every request and spent a ton of time cleaning the apartment before the move-in date. Then, out of the clear blue sky, they sent her a text stating they weren't moving in and they wanted their deposit back. When she refused, the plaintiffs threatened to blackmail her. This has caused her so much stress, and there's no way she's refunding a penny of their money. She's accused of not cleaning it right. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $2,950 for legal fees and early termination charges.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Tariq Simon and Rebecca Blazkowicz?
Yes.
Okay, you are suing Nicole. You've asked me to refer to only by your first name for $2,700 of a security deposit and rental fees in a place you never ended up moving into. You have a counterclaim against them for $2,950 for early termination charges and the balance of rent, because according to you, they should have moved in. All right, what's going on?
All right, basically what had happened was we found the apartment on Craigslist. We went in to look at it, and when we went to look at it, at first glance we liked what we saw. We heard that there were a couple of other people that were interested in the apartment.
So you had to lay down your money right that second.
No.
We didn't lay it
'Cause you
down
gotta
right
have what
that
somebody else
second.
wants,
We
right.
didn't lay it down right that second, but what we did was we told them that we were interested in it if they could hold it for a little bit. And then when I got my paycheck the next week, we had went back and I had paid them $500 to hold it. They had asked for $625 in total to hold it. So we had given them $900 total because when she had got paid, she gave them an additional $400 for the rest of the $625 that they had requested for, and about $225 toward first month's rent. And when we got into the apartment after looking at it for a while, we went in there the third week of December, and we noticed that there were bugs all over the floor. It was disgusting and dirty. And
Live bugs or dead bugs?
They were
dead
dead.
bugs. and they had claimed that they had cleaned the whole apartment spick and span up and down.
But you weren't moving in the third week of December?
We weren't moving in.
Right.
We
You
just
weren't
went to
moving in
look
for
at
another
it.
2 weeks or a week and a half? Or
Correct.
Yeah, we just went to like look at it and see like what was going on, what progress has been done.
Okay. So you're looking at it and you say, hey, this place is still dirty. It was-
Yeah, and we addressed it
And
to
they
them.
say, well, we'll clean it before you move in.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So get to
And
the part that you are trying to move in and something's wrong.
we are trying to move in, and
When? January?
It was about
January.
the 30th of December, Your
Yeah.
Honor, and we went in there, and I started doing cleaning. We were moving in our kitchenware, and we were looking around, and then as I'm cleaning the bathroom, I noticed behind the showerhead's falling out. So I look again more, like, in depth, and I notice it's dry rotted behind the shower. It's falling out. And at this point, like, as I turn the shower on, it's facing fully out, so it's actually going right on the floor. It's not even in the shower frame itself. So all the water's coming out onto the floor. And as he was doing the dishes, we put in the dishes, soaking them, cleaning them. We look underneath the sink, and it's soaking wet underneath there. And you could smell like the musty, moldy smell. And we had told them like we would like this fixed. They said they would put bug traps down for the bugs because we had informed them about that. Nothing was done. We went back 2, maybe 3 days later, less than that,
Yeah,
and checked
nothing
again.
was done.
Nothing, because
Yeah.
that was the weekend we were going to move in,
When did you tell them about that?
the 30th.
The
Well-
30th. Do you have that in text?
That do I? I have that on.
So when do you first hear that that there's a problem with the shower head and a problem with a leak in the kitchen?
December 30th.
Okay, so we're good.
That's
Go ahead. I want to see your phone anyway.
I only
All
have
right,
the
so
fourth.
go on. And when you hear that, what do you say to them?
We tell them that we'll resolve the issues as soon as we possibly can.
Okay, which was going to be when?
Well, we actually went down and put some bug spray down pretty much right away as soon as we were able to, maybe the next day. We didn't actually see any live bugs, so we weren't really sure what we were spraying for.
Well,
but,
probably the bugs that were dead, but when they're alive, that's kind of like
Yeah.
it's kind of the evidence of what you need to spray for.
we didn't. They showed us a couple of dead spiders. I'd love to see some photos because the apartment was not covered in bugs.
Do you have pictures?
The video is also in the phone. I can open.
Yeah, would you do that for me? Go
Okay.
on.
Yeah, so the other issue with the leak in the sink, there is no leak. I can show you a video of the sink running, and underneath the sink, no water damage whatsoever.
Okay, when did you first get wind that they were not going to move in?
January 4th,
How did you get wind of that?
text message.
And what did they say in the text message?
I'm sorry to inform you, but we would like a refund. I'm sorry you both broke contract when we didn't do a walkthrough, or when Tarek and I did go in, you said it was clean and it shows it wasn't. I'm sorry, it's not for us. We would like the $900 refund, and we will cut our losses because it is not for us. I spent more time and money into cleaning than anything else. Tarek agrees with me, and I just want to start with a nice apartment with no issues, no bugs, no leaky sink.
Okay, so she mentions the leaky sink in
Yeah, so we actually got a text before about the
leaky sink.
I think we might have gotten a text about the leaky sink. I know we got a text about the shower head.
All right, did you fix the shower head?
I have actually a video of the shower working. So although they claim the shower head was out of commission, it wasn't. The shower wasn't actually leaking onto the floor, and I have a video right here.
Okay, first let me see her video.
Oh, by the way, this is what I was talking about when it comes to the shower being broken. Doesn't take a genius.
What was the real problem? Why didn't you guys want to move in?
We had no problem wanting to move in. We kept saying
So why
that
didn't
to
you move in? Because nothing that you're talking about is anything that can't be handled, and it's the stuff that happens when people own stuff. You know, it happens. Sometimes you got to fix this or you got to fix that. Let me see your video.
Which one, the sink or the shower?
Both.
This is the shower. I don't know if they had it running in their video, but the point.
No, they did not have it running in their video.
Okay, so I had it running.
All she showed was that it was like a 1/4 inch separated
I mean,
from the wall, which is not a reason not to move in. The shower's running perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And the shower nozzle adjusts anyway.
Yeah.
And it's a
You could
big,
turn
it's
it.
closed, it's screened
It's
in
enclosed.
with glass.
Yep, I have a picture of that as well if you need to see
No,
that.
I don't need to see it. Show me the
The
sink.
sink.
So I took.
Do you guys have pictures of the sink not working?
I don't even think.
Is this your first apartment?
Yes, it was. In the first, I
Who was
believe.
counseling you guys? Who was giving you advice? Not a person, not a soul.
Really?
I wish someone.
Yeah, I wish somebody.
Had you signed a lease?
Yes.
Yes, we signed
Saying
the
that all
lease,
these
but
items would have been. They said the apartment would have been.
Show me your
up in
lease that you
condition.
signed.
I don't think
We didn't bring it in because we didn't.
Show me the lease that they signed. When you sign something and it's a contract and you decide to go to court to sue about it, you should find your lease. Where's your copy of the lease?
In the car, actually. Simply because
For
we
real?
didn't. Your Honor, the reason why we didn't bring it in is because we didn't put it in as evidence
Yeah, I didn't.
for us.
What? That doesn't matter. You don't think I'm going to ask about it and want to know what the real terms are? It's this isn't. Oh, guys. All right. Okay, first of all, it says that 625 is just to hold the place between December 15th and December 31st.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to rent it in December, not in January. So it's just to hold the place. That's the lease you signed. So why would you ever, because you know they held the place, why would you ever get that 625 back?
The 625, we had actually had informed them regarding the apartment, saying that the 625 was for half a month's rent of the time we wouldn't be there to help them out because we knew that.
What are you talking about? That's what you can't unilaterally
had-
decide what something is after you've already signed a contract deciding what something is.
No, we had decided this prior to signing the contract that we would put 625.
Did you or did you not sign this contract that says, I guess this is why you weren't introducing it into evidence, that says that the 625 was to hold the place from December 15th to December 31st?
Correct, that's fine.
Okay, all right. Did you have an inkling that maybe it was something different, that it had nothing to do with the shower? And
Yes.
What was that?
We have no clue what the reason, but we were willing to work with them to fix the issues that they brought to our attention that were in fact issues, and they simply did not give us enough time. There's a habitability clause in the.
That's the law. I mean,
Yeah.
look, it's either they have enough reason to break the lease or they don't. The things you're talking about are not substantial problems. The cleaning obviously was a problem because you cleaned. So that's not going to be a reason for you. And then these other things are things that are repaired with a plumber in one day if they actually need repairing, because her videos don't even show a problem. But I think there was a problem to you because you're talking about them on the 31st, but on the 4th, you're immediately trying to back out and get a refund. Not even just, hey, keep the money because we stalled you for a month and a half, because she can't rent it out in January anymore because it's already the month already started, right? So you know, keep that money, but just let us out of our obligation. No, it's let us out of our obligation. I found 2 spiders, and you owe me $900. I mean, it's so much more than that. Then you get a lawyer involved, and the lawyer tells you, no, you can't do that. And then at some point, there's a text by you to them talking about how you're going to mess them up with future tenants. Tell me about that.
I didn't write any text. I didn't write any text.
Who wrote it?
I wrote that text.
You wrote it, but you.
I said.
Did you wrote it from you or from him?
It was from me regarding to them.
It wasn't from his phone. It was from your phone.
It was from my phone. Yes.
Okay. All right. And what'd you say?
Actually, I would like to actually go. Can I go back a second
Sure.
when it comes to? I had asked. I said, can we have a sit down and conversate, like talk about the problems in the apartment? I said when they're going to be fixed and everything else. He stalled to respond back to me for, I want to say, till probably about 8 o'clock that night when he finally did answer me. And I kept saying, I said, well, we really.
You know, adults don't always. They're not glued to their phone.
No.
Okay.
I completely understand that. What I'm saying is we were actually waiting. I was like, okay, well, I want to, have a conversation with him regarding the apartment. I'm like, just when are these items going to get fixed? And then me and him were talking throughout that day saying, what do we do? Are we going to take this apartment if we're going to keep having these issues? We were more nervous of the fact.
Having these issues, the issue just came up. I mean, how long do you think that it takes to call a plumber, inspect the place, get the plumber over there, pay the plumber? That takes a few days. But you haven't even moved in yet, and it's the day you're going to move in, and you're like, that's it, we're out. I know we signed a lease, but not only are we not going to abide by the lease, but we want our money back, even though you held the place for us for a month and a week or whatever it was. And you want to sit down and have a powwow. Were you living in the same place?
We live upstairs.
Ooh, so it's going to be awkward. All right, and then you authorize your lawyer to offer to them that if they get all their stuff out of there, and they sign a waiver, you would what?
Well, they were actually threatening us in several ways. They wanted to call the town of Brookhaven and tell them that we have an illegal apartment, which we don't. They wanted to call Craigslist or contact Craigslist and tell them that we had a scam. Anyway, they were trying to threaten us.
Where do you get everything that you're saying? Because that's not in the text.
It's in the text. It says, okay, We said our lawyer will be in contact with you. Okay, and the fire department will be notified tomorrow, and so will the realtor. We are willing to, if you keep $200 for the inconvenience, and for us to notify the realtor or fire department and inform.
Fire department about what?
We had assumed, which we actually found out later on, that they were a legal apartment. Also,
Wait, you had assumed what?
That they weren't a legal apartment.
So you threatened them to call the fire department on them, but you didn't even have evidence that what you were saying was true?
We had found
Can I just
out
tell you
later
something?
then.
Don't let her handle stuff. No, because there's stuff that being a bull is really good. I know that as a fellow bull. Okay, and then there's stuff where being a bull in a china shop is not the right response because there's finesse involved. This is finesse. Trying to wiggle your way out of a 12-month lease requires finesse. And apparently she doesn't possess copious amounts of that. If that's how she's trying to get $900 back because there's a couple of spiders and leaks that you can't prove. Okay.
And the last line in that stream of lines says, I won't inform Craigslist that you're a scam either. So that's
how do you think, what reaction do you think that's going to have that you're calling somebody fraudulent? And then she tells you that your lawyer's not even a lawyer.
Yeah. Oh.
And then your lawyer says to her, what is wrong with you? Google me. This is my name.
Your Honor, I had asked.
But later on, when she starts talking about messing us up, getting another tenant, she said in capital letters, and I apologize for the verbiage here, but with the wrong person, you don't know me. And this, I'm sorry, this actually evoked some pretty serious emotions in me. I have a little child, and I started to be concerned for my safety at that point.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Is there any proof that the shower here is broken, really?
Not at all. I think that they should have reported it and let the landlord see it and took video, and then they would have been good.
Well, the landlord did take video, and the video shows that the shower works. Tenants had a luck here, or the plaintiff?
Yeah, the defendants do have some luck because they did take video, but I mean, since the plaintiffs didn't have any video, there's no proof of it not
So
working.
video's the key.
Yeah.
I think so too. Going inside the courtroom.
So here's where we are. Where do you get treble damages from? You don't live in a state that involves treble damages. Where did you get the idea that you could sue for treble damages? Okay, sounded good. All right, but see, here's a problem. Here's a problem, because for every action, there is a reaction. And our actions in life have consequences. Signing a lease has a consequence. Bailing out of a lease has a consequence. But coming to court and trying to get the refund has had a very major consequence, because now there's a counterclaim against you. And tell me about your counterclaim.
Okay, we are simply trying to regain the money we lost. The month of January, they gave us $300 towards that rent. We're simply asking for the $950 remaining money that they owed us for January.
Okay.
Now, in the lease document that you have, there's an early termination clause which says that they have to give us 30 days written notice and pay an early termination fee of the same amount, which is rent, so $1,250.
Did you sign a lease that said that you could terminate early, but you would have to pay an early termination clause?
Correct, yes.
You know that, and you still came to court and sued rather than... do you guys have children?
No.
Don't. Not yet. Not yet. You got to season yourselves a little more before you become responsible for another human being. You got the impression that they were having financial issues and that that's what this is really about. And you got that impression because at one point they asked for you to allow the $600 that was for holding the place to count towards rent, correct?
That's definitely one of the things we were concerned about. Tarek had sent a text message to my husband stating that Rebecca was leaving him, and he needed to get the $500 back that he had put down to hold the apartment. Immediately after that, we got some text messages from Rebecca stating that she was just trying to teach Tarek a lesson and that he needed to learn his mistakes about forgetting her birthday. So we...
Okay. What?
Your Honor, I didn't think you'd actually text them for no reason. We're people, we do fight, but at the same point, he knows I'm not leaving him.
Folks, what am I supposed to do with what you signed? Just feel sorry for you and let you slide? I don't let somebody else slide, but I got to let you slide? What am I supposed to do with you? What do you suggest I do?
I'm going to leave that up to you. If I could just make one additional comment before you rule. I have been under so much stress and duress because of this.
Why?
We need that money to subsidize our mortgage. And because we haven't had that, it's been financially stressful. It's just been unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's very simple. When you sign a lease, there are consequences for signing a lease. And when you sign a lease, and when you decide, I'm washing my hands of this, you better know what you're doing when you do it. Because if a judge ends up disagreeing that it's a substantial breach enough for you not to move in, which is what's happening, because I don't consider either of the things you've complained about a real problem, because I can see that both things work on her videos, and I do not see that both things don't work on yours. I start to look at this and I think this is kind of a ploy because they just feel like maybe they got in over their heads. And your naivete comes through when you look me right in the eye and say, well, I didn't want to introduce the lease. Of course you don't want to introduce the lease, because the lease crucifies you. But do you think that that means that because you cover the sun with one finger that the sun is not shining? No, it's still what the facts are. Does your lease say that you're entitled to attorney's fees?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't think it does, but I still feel that they've taken us to court and they've put us through all of this, and it's baseless. And as a result, we had to. Well, you're actually in court on your own, and you've done quite a fine job. Oh, thank you.
I find in your favor in the amount of the balance of the January rent of $950 plus the early termination charge that is right in the lease that they signed, for a judgment in your favor in the amount of $2,200 on your claim against her for the reasons we've already discussed. I do not find in your favor. That is my judgment. Good luck, folks.
Well, how come the plaintiff's empty-handed? I wonder if you're glad you sued.
Were you
It's
kind
a
of
lesson learned.
Yeah. What have you both learned?
I need to watch what I say.
Watch what you say?
Definitely.
You mean what you said to the defendant? Those things is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
What did you say that you regret?
Everything. I really found them as nice people. We actually really did want to move in. It just turns out the apartment we found where the issues were something that we didn't really want in an apartment. We didn't want to go into having issues, not sure that they're even going to be fixed.
Are you two still a couple?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Head right down there. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So come on in here. And you satisfied with how this comes out?
I think that my main concern is the safety of my son, and I honestly don't feel safe right now. They know where we live, and I'm just really, really grateful and thankful that we have a security system installed, because I don't feel comfortable right now at all.
Harvey?
So to undo the lease, the tenants have to prove that this compromises their health or safety in a significant way, and not the case here. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Molly O'Neill. She says she rented an apartment from the defendant, and when she moved out, he kept a portion of her security deposit to pay for damages that already existed in the apartment when she moved in. That's right, the guy's trying to royally rip her off. She's here to fight for what's right and is suing the sorry excuse of a landlord for the $900 she's still owed. This is the defendant, Frank Pomerico. He says the plaintiff lived like a slob, left the apartment a dirty mess, and he had to send in a crew to clean it up and prep it for the next tenants. He was nice enough to return a portion of her security deposit, use the rest to cover the cleaning and the damages, and the plaintiff simply has no case. He's accused of ticking off a tenant.
Thank you, Douglas. Molly O'Neill?
Yes.
You are suing Frank Pomerico?
Yes, ma'am.
Your former landlord for $900 of a security deposit that you want returned to you, that you say he's inappropriately keeping. Tell me what happened.
Your Honor, I gave 60 days notice to move out of my apartment, and when I did move out, we cleaned it. We spackled any holes that were made from hanging curtains or anything else. There was an issue of the blinds being damaged by my dogs, which I had already prepaid for in a $200 non-refundable dog deposit when I moved in. And basically, we left the apartment in as good or better condition than we found it. My boyfriend, Michael, is here today, was there with me cleaning on the day that we moved out.
Did you take pictures at all? Or?
I took one.
It's always a really good idea to take a lot of pictures when you're moving out so that this doesn't happen, but show me the picture you took. What's going on? Why are you keeping their security deposit?
Because it took an excessive amount of cleaning. It was not in broom swept condition. I had a tenant coming in the next week. It took more than the amount of hours that I charged her to clean the place. There was excessive filth.
Let me see the pictures.
Well, I have a receipt here from my contractor, from my cleaning contractor, and I have a picture of the blinds, which...
Right, but what you're keeping... You're saying that the place was filthy. I need to have proof. She says was not. You say was too. She says was not. You're going to show me a bill for it. She's going to show me a boyfriend who you live there too? And then how are we going to solve this? The easy way to solve this is for the landlord to have pictures of what she left that was... It's really easy. You just show me the pictures. I say, what about this? You know, which of course she did not zoom in on. That's all I need you to do. You didn't do that? You didn't take pictures?
No. I don't have a picture of the filth. I do have a receipt from my contractor.
Okay. You have a contractor who does your cleaning?
Yes.
You mean a handyman?
Yes. And here's that.
Did you ever see it yourself?
I was there.
So
I do the painting.
What was dirty?
I participated. I supervised.
What was dirty?
What was dirty? The HVAC.
You know, because there's always an amount of cleaning that you have to do in order to turn it over to the new person. You know that.
It was well beyond normal wear and tear. Okay, in the oven, the sides, the bottom, each spoke of the rack had to be cleaned. In the HVAC closet, which contains the hot water heater and the air conditioning.
The $375 is entirely for cleaning?
No, it's only $150 for the cleaning.
I don't see the $150 anywhere. I see $175.
For the spackling in the bedroom. For the spackling, the sanding, and the painting in the bedroom, $50 for the blinds, and the rest was for the cleaning. There was an egg stain in the fridge that my handyman's wife spent well over half an hour that she had to scrape out and clean. There was a filmy substance in all of the cabinets, including in the bathroom.
Now, she says that the dog damaged the blinds and that you had a pet deposit of $200, which I guess was non-refundable.
Right, but how do I know the dogs did the damage to the blinds? And I also gave you pictures of the blinds.
How do you know they did it?
Right, but if you look at the blinds, though, you see the height of the blinds. When I took the blinds out, they were damaged at the top as well as the bottom. So unless the dogs could fly, the damage on the blinds was 6, 7, 8 feet in height.
How am I going to see everything you just said? Where do I see that? The pictures that
you
you
see the height of the blinds.
I see. Okay, these blinds are perfect.
Right, that's of the current tenant.
Oh.
But you see the positioning of the blinds. So, and they were damaged top to bottom.
Why don't you just prove to me what the damage was by showing me the pictures of the damage?
Should have, could have, would have.
Yeah, I know. Do you have a phone?
I don't have a cell phone, no.
I don't mean on you today. Do you possess a cell phone?
No.
You really?
So I'm old school in that way.
No, I love that. I'm so jealous. I can't even begin to tell you. Does your handyman have a cell phone? Is your handyman living on our planet? All right. You know, because it's not that hard to take pictures anymore nowadays. It's just not that complicated. And if you're going to get into a contest with your tenant because you plan to keep money, you should certainly have pictures to prove the things that you're saying. Do you have any proof that you paid these amounts, like a canceled check or anything?
I don't have it on me now. If you want me to, I could prove it. Molly knows my handyman.
Come on up. According to him, there's 7 hours of spackle sand paint, bedroom and closet.
I didn't do that.
I'm
not his handyman.
We know. That's kind of what he's complaining about. He says that it was necessary.
The day before the move-out day, we went to a hardware store right on the corner, so the 30th of October, and purchased spackling, magic erasers to clean the walls, and spackling compound.
And did you use it?
Knife, yeah.
You have the receipt for it?
Yes,
and according to you, you used it.
I have a receipt for that, and spent maybe like an hour in the bedroom doing it. I don't think that painting is something that needs to be on there, though. There's also a cleaning of windows on here as well. But I know that the windows had some kind of film on them. I think they were sprayed because it's a first floor.
How'd the blinds break?
The dogs were pawing at the window in the first week that I moved in, and they cracked the side. where it sticks out from where the cord comes
You actually have a
through.
picture that you'd like to show me of your dog staring. Where did that come from?
That
Let me see
actually,
it.
that wasn't from the blinds. I wanted to show that the day that I moved in, there was a sticky residue on the window left from the previous tenant, and I never was able to remove that. I was charged from my security deposit for cleaning the windows, but they were already in really bad condition when I received them.
Oh, I thought
The
you were
dog
trying to
just
show me how the
happens to-
dog is
No.
the level of the blinds.
No. That was just the dog happened to be there, and I was going through my cell phone looking for any pictures.
Well, that would certainly explain how the dog would hit the blinds, though, because there's the arm of the sofas right next to it.
But the blinds were not damaged at the top, Your Honor. They were damaged at the very bottom on the side.
So do tenants generally respect landlord's property?
I think it just depends on who you've decided to rent.
If you have to say generally, one way or the other, would you say generally yes, generally no?
Generally, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. What do you think?
No.
They don't. Why?
No, I think that they take advantage because it's not a property they own.
What do you think? Do tenants respect landlord's property?
I don't think so. It depends if the tenant is taking care of us. But if he does, yes, I think the landlord, sorry, I meant.
Why does it always sound smarter in French? Going inside the courtroom.
Here's how it works. When you go to court, you're the plaintiff and you have the burden of proof. You have to prove that you gave a security deposit and that you asked for it and you didn't get it back. You've done that. When the defense is you're not entitled to it because you did X, Y, Z, the burden of proof is on the person claiming the defense. Everybody has to prove their own defense. So it is done every day in my courtroom and all the courtrooms throughout the land where the landlord proves it. Yes, you have a receipt. It's a piece of paper with typing on it, okay? That's what this is. You don't have proof that you paid another business, which often, people will come in with a check to prove that they paid their handyman. Because you understand that this can be typed in a computer 5 seconds ago, right? You don't have pictures of what you're talking about, which
I have
would
pictures
prove
of the blinds, which
No, you don't. You have pictures of new blinds.
Of the new blinds, which
Right.
indicates
How
the
about
height of the blinds that the dogs.
You think I don't know where windows fall? You think I think windows fall down here? I've had pets. I see the sofa next to the thing. But who are you to decide that did or didn't happen a certain way? How do I know it happened, that you're being honest about that? But it's really simple. If you want to collect all this money that you're keeping, then it's easy to do. You just take pictures of what it is you're complaining about. But it sounds to me that what is happening is that you're readying it for the next tenant, with dusting in between the louvers, and that's perfect. You got to do it, but that doesn't get passed off on. Have you always done this? Have you always made the last tenant pay for the new tenant? For the cleaning that you have to do when there's a switch of tenants, I don't see any evidence for you to be able to keep any of the security deposit. I'm going to order you to return it. $900 verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And so the plaintiff has won this judgment here against the landlord here. How could you come to court with no proof of anything that you're
Well,
keeping?
I did have proof. I had my testimony. I had a receipt. I didn't know I needed a canceled check. Next time in the future, I would have a canceled check. I'll get an affidavit, written
Pictures of the
statements.
damage.
I'll get a video. I'll get a production team, and I'll get an act of Congress for support next time.
You are going to do great in court next time.
We'll see.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, so congratulations on winning your case. What was it like to have him as your landlord?
He was pretty intrusive most of the time, but I'm just glad that we were able to settle all this.
Mm-hmm. Any other problems? What do you mean by intrusive, by the way?
He showed up a lot unannounced, went in my apartment when I wasn't there without giving me prior notice, destroyed my garden, lots of little things.
All right.
So.
Take pictures before you move in of everything, and then take pictures before you move out. Harvey?
Okay, here's a tip. Both landlords and tenants should take photos and/or video when the tenant moves in and when the tenant moves out. It is just a smart, good thing to do. That will do it for this case. Litigants, for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Peggy Turchio. She says she hired the defendant to do some work cleaning her limestone, and the chemicals he used caused the stone to disintegrate and lose color. Bottom line, the defendant caused the problem and should now be responsible for fixing it, and won't. She's suing for $2,738, the cost to replace the damaged limestone. This is the defendant, Peter. He says the plaintiff had a leak in her shower, and that's why the limestone is worn away. The problem she had nothing to do with the bleach he used 8 months prior when he was hired to clean excessive mold from the bathroom floor. He feels badly for the woman, but did nothing wrong. He's accused of stoning a customer.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Peggy Turcio? Turcio. Okay. You are suing Peter. You've asked us not to use your last name and his company. You've asked us not to use a company name. You're the owner, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For $2,738 in damages that you say Peter's company committed to your limestone in your home. Okay, tell me what's going on.
12 years ago, we put limestone in our home. Limestone is a very soft stone, and you have to refinish it and take care of it. So he was recommended by one of my husband's business associates. So he came in, and while he was refinishing our kitchen floor, he asked to see the rest of the limestone in our home. And he told me that we had a mold problem in our shower.
This was how long ago?
September of 2007.
September of 2007. Okay, go ahead.
So he told us what to do to it. He said to use bleach, which my husband did following his directions.
Okay, who's the person with you?
My husband, Robert Unger.
Okay, so go on.
So what happened was we used bleach on the shower, but it damaged the limestone outside the shower floor.
How did it damage the limestone? Because my
limestone
understanding is
is
you can
very
use bleach
porous.
on limestone.
Excuse me?
Are you saying you can't use bleach on limestone?
No, you can't use bleach
Okay.
on limestone.
Do you have
I
any
didn't know that.
evidence to suggest that you can't use bleach on limestone? Do you have an expert witness's testimony? Do you have an affidavit by an expert?
No, I do not. My husband can
Come on up,
explain
come
it.
on up, yeah.
Yes. He explained it as taking the stuffing the drain of the shower, taking gallons and gallons of bleach, filled up the shower about 6 inches worth of bleach, and let it sit there. Well, the first time I did it, it drained out. So he said, "Oh, you didn't do a good enough job of sealing the drain."
Well, why is this so drain? Don't you have like the little?
No, this is it's a shower. It's not a bathtub. It's just a shower.
Okay, so there's no mechanism to stop it.
That's correct.
Okay.
Just a center drain in the shower.
Okay, so how did you seal the drain the first time?
I stuffed a rag in it. I put this is what he told me to do. I stuffed a rag in it. I put a weight on it. I really sealed it so that the bleach wouldn't go down. And what happened is that the bleach leached through to the floor in front of the shower.
How do you know that happened?
Well, 2 days later, the floor is getting all wet from bleach. You can smell it, you can see it. Okay, and then over the course of time, the next couple of months, the floor from the bleach deteriorated.
Okay.
It started chipping away everything else.
Okay.
As soon as I realized what happened to the floor in front of the shower, we called him back right away.
Okay, does he come out there?
Yes, he does. He came back and he tried to grind out the floor several times.
Okay.
He came back at least twice, if not a third time.
And does that work or it doesn't?
It does not work.
Okay.
Because the floor, literally the top of the floor peeled away.
Okay, do you have pictures of what you're talking
Yes, we
about?
do.
Let me see the pictures. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on.
We looked at the shower. It was awful moldy. I told them, like we told maybe 300 other people, clog up the shower drain. In fact, they live near a plumbing supply shop that they sell plugs for the drain. Plug it up, put a few gallons of bleach in it, some water in it, and call me when the mold goes away, and then we'll come back and seal up the shower.
Seal up the shower, what does that mean?
Once the mold, we can't really seal, like put an impregnator into the shower.
Meaning the actual tiles, you can't put a sealant on them until the mold is gone. And she wanted a sealant on them, why? So that they wouldn't create more mold?
Because it is getting moldy, yeah.
Okay.
And the shower was showing a bit of age.
So go ahead.
They filled it up. They called me the next day to say it all leaked out, which pretty much told me that there was probably a hole in the shower pan. And then I guess about 6 months later, Rob did call me and tell me that.
What are these? Oh, can you hold on one second? What are these pictures? These are pictures of a wall. It's not the.
No,
pictures
that's the floor, Your Honor.
And these are the why is the tape there? What should I be looking?
Just as a reference point for us, we were trying to showing which tiles that had to be replaced at that point.
And these have to be replaced. Why?
Because because of the discoloration and the deterioration of the tile.
Did you ever come back and look at the quote discoloration?
It wasn't so much.
What they're saying, I think what you're saying is that right outside the shower pan, the several tiles that are there were lighter in color.
No.
No.
It was
Sorry,
more than that.
They were kind of turning powdery.
Powdery.
Yeah, like almost powdery. And Rob did call me maybe 6 months later.
Okay.
And I did go by and I sanded them smoother.
Okay.
It's a kind
what
of.
would have caused them to go powdery?
It could be soup to nuts. If the shower pan was
Give me soup and nuts.
All right,
give me.
If the shower pan was actually leaking for more time than, say, for the past 3 years, it could have been getting hit by water for all that time. Limestone is a soft stone. If left outside in the rain, it will turn powdery eventually. And that's why we aim to seal the showers anyway. But, so that could very well have been it. I wasn't certain. I sanded them, it went smooth. It went smooth.
Okay, but here's my question. The original plan was they're going to put Clorox in it. It's going to take away the mold, and when
Yeah.
the mold is eradicated, then you're going to come in and you're going to seal it. Did that ever happen? Did you get that call to come seal it because the
No.
mold was gone?
No.
Did you get a call the opposite way, which is, hey, listen, we can't get rid of this mold. It keeps draining?
I got the call the next day. He called me to say that all the bleach had leaked out.
And then you tell him, well, you must have a shower pan leak?
I would.
Did he tell you you must have a shower pan leak?
After I saw the bleach leach up through the floor, that's when he told me there was probably a leak.
Okay. And then what you're saying is, look, Judge, if there's a discoloration of these tiles, it can be due to what?
Water.
Water from many years of shower pan leak?
Yeah. Again, 3 years ago, it's kind of hard to remember exactly. What I remember most distinctly was a couple of tile outside the shower had gone powdery.
Powdery.
Yeah, so...
And according to you, is it where did I get discoloration?
It's not discoloration.
It's not
That's the wrong
okay,
word.
wait. Hold on. It's not discoloration, it's powdery.
You have to imagine that the tile, the rest of the bathroom is quite smooth, okay? It was like a honed tile, which is a very smooth tile, like this table. The areas that were damaged, it was like as if you took a chisel to it and chipped off some of the top of the tile, and now it's rough.
Okay, so can limestone disintegrate from just the normal wear and tear of being in a shower, or is it more likely to be a combination of, or more likely to be bleach?
Can be accelerated with bleach, just like using acetone.
Okay, fair enough. But if there's no bleach, could it still disintegrate over time?
Yes.
Of course. I mean, over time, anything can disintegrate with use. So.
Yeah, but if you've been to like Greece and places like that, those things last 2,000 years, right?
Yeah, but limestone is a porous substance, rock.
Yeah, well, don't get all hoity-toity on me. It's a porous substance. Oh. Well, Miss Know-It-All there, going inside the courtroom.
Why is your lawsuit $2,738 if you say that it cost you? By the way, did you ever show me what you paid to have it fixed, as opposed to two estimates?
The proposal for Emilio Enterprises is the one that was done.
And have you shown me anything that says it was paid?
Did not, no.
Okay. And why are you suing for $2,738 if you're saying it cost you $1,700?
No, it was the estimate of the proposal for the work and then the cost of the tile. Emilio's proposal.
$1,700 was without?
That's correct. That was without that material.
2,000.
To replace 8 tiles?
It's 3/4 inch thick tile. It had to be
had to be
jack,
cut out.
almost like jackhammered
I know,
out. Yeah.
chippy hammer, or as we call it, where I'm from, a chippy hammer. What is it really called? Because all my life, we used to call it sheetrock. I didn't even know it was called sheetrock until I was a grown-up, because in my house we called it sheetrock. So what is it? What is a chippy hammer? Jackhammer? So they just call it chippy because of the noise it makes? That's what my father and my brother always... Okay, got it.
That wasn't the noise it made.
Oh, my Lord. All right.
And he had to cut out...
Guys, here's where my problem lies. When you come to court and you ask me to look at him and say, pay them $3,000, I got to know, okay, by a preponderance of the evidence that it's his fault that you have a $3,000 damage, okay? And you're the ones whose job it is to prove it to me. You have to prove it to me. Typically, someone in your position comes in and shows me some proof by showing me, not just, hey, we decided we didn't like how it looked, so we paid somebody to fix it. But somebody who's willing to put their professional reputation on the line, saying, this guy's nuts, you can't do what he said to do. You can't just get the $3,000 because if it turns out that what you had was a shower leak, then a shower pan leak, then you had a shower pan leak. And you have to have some kind of evidence that shows that his professional judgment on this was wrong, and I just don't see that kind of evidence. It's far more likely that this was the first time your shower was filled with anything for any amount of time, and whether it was water or Clorox or whatever else it causes. You have to prove to me Clorox damages limestone. You can't use Clorox on limestone. Not only have I never heard that, I've always cleaned my limestone with Clorox, and every site I looked at talked about how it was okay, and you've come empty-handed on proving to me that it isn't okay. So my verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Well, the defendant and Clorox are both vindicated, so come on in here. At least he's smiling after losing the case. Step in, and what's your reaction on the verdict?
Well, I just agree. I just disagree with the verdict. I think it's common sense that when we did the bleach and it ruined the floor, we should have been compensated for it.
Well, proving it is the big thing, because this is a courtroom.
Understood,
All
but
right.
common sense works in a courtroom too.
All right, head right down that way, and let's see if the defendant agrees with that assessment. Come on in here. Satisfied how this verdict comes out for you?
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you think happened in this case? Why are they so hard to please?
I kind of think they tried to take advantage of us. This is what we do every day, and we've bleached hundreds and hundreds of showers.
How'd they try to take advantage of you?
I think the shower pan had been leaking for years, and they probably had gotten it fixed on the $2,700 that they said of changing 8 tiles.
You think they saw an opportunity to make you pay for repairs they knew needed to be done?
$2,700 to change 8 tiles would be some of the most expensive tile in the world.
Let's go over to Harvey.
Okay, Gert, here's the thing. If you have a situation like this where you're trying to prove how something happened and it's something that you don't have knowledge of firsthand, you got to bring an expert into court. In small claims, you can at least bring a notarized statement. But if you don't have an expert, there's no way you're going to win the case.
This is the plaintiff, Camille Labella. She says she hired the defendant for lawn care for the season, paid him in full at the start of the job, and signed some cockamamie letterhead agreement he scribbled out. The lying defendant never finished the job, and if she doesn't get her hard-earned money back, her husband will never let her hear the end of it. She's suing for $450, the amount she's out. This is the defendant, Dominic Hatzimarkos. He says the plaintiff doesn't understand that lawn care's done in increments. First he cleaned up the yard, then he put down some grass seed and told her he'd be back in a few weeks to add the weed and feed. Next thing he knows, her husband's threatening him with all this mob talk, saying things like he doesn't know who he's messing with and things like that. Bottom line, he does a good job and deserves to be paid for it. He's accused of being infertile. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000 for aggravation and harassment.
You're welcome, Camille Labella?
Yes.
Okay, you are suing Clearway Landscaping, represented here by its owner, Dominic Hatzimarkos?
Hatzimarkos, ma'am.
Okay. For $450 that you paid him that you want returned to you because according to you, he didn't do anything. Tell me what happened.
Okay, just in brief, on one Saturday afternoon in April 8th to be exact, my husband and I were sitting home, and I get a knock on the door from this fellow by the name of Joe, who's an acquaintance of my husband and myself, who in turn knows the defendant. He said, can you, do me a favor? He didn't say, can you do me a favor? He said, you need some landscaping work. Then I said, yes, my lawn was in such a disarray. He said, well, I have a friend by the name of Dominic, Clearway Landscaping, and he's in the truck. Dominic never got out of the truck. I said, oh, good. I said, he said, how about I bring him over on Saturday, okay, next Saturday. I said, fine, and we'll discuss the terms and whatever. So he shows up at my door on Thursday, okay? He says, I'm here now. He said, do you mind if I start working? I said,
Start
sure.
working? We haven't even met you. We haven't discussed anything. So why'd you say sure?
I said, sure, because I guess I'm a sap for a sad face or whatever you want to call it.
He has a sad face?
Well, he looked it.
All right.
And I said, okay. So we get out. He says to his worker, Jose, come on, Jose, who Jose is in the truck. Now, he's a kid, okay? The kid has no gloves, nothing. He starts picking up my leaves, and I said, he didn't seem like a good worker, and I'm not, saying anything bad about the kid. He's a kid. And Dominic, the defendant, was standing there smoking a cigarette and just, hanging out, la-di-da, Then I went out
Supervising.
to him. Yeah.
Okay.
So I went out and I spoke to him. I said, let me go talk to him. And I loved him at first. He's telling me he's got a heart condition, he's diabetic, and my husband also has the same. He showed me his scar,
Showed you his
very
scar.
impressed with his scar.
Goodness.
And he began to tell me things that I really shouldn't have heard from him. I don't
Okay,
know if
but
I'm allowed to
you've
say.
got that kind of face that people trust.
I guess,
Okay.
and that's what I'm so annoyed about because I trust everybody.
Okay.
And I shouldn't.
All right.
But he said to me he's a reformed alcoholic and a reformed drug addict. Do I need to know this?
I don't know.
I don't.
I sort of would like to know this if somebody's on my property, but maybe you don't. Okay.
So
go on.
I don't know what made me say okay to this man.
All right.
So he's doing whatever, supervising. And I said, you know what? Let me go get my husband. He was sleeping. I said, honey, come outside. I want you to meet Dominic. So he shakes his hand. My husband's from Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn. So they both light up a cigarette and they're, and they're talking.
Light up a cigarette with their heart conditions and the dry leaves next to them. Go on. Okay.
So, after I go back in the house, and my husband said, Camille, why are you hiring this guy? He said, look at him. He don't look kosher.
He don't look kosher.
Kosher.
Okay, wait, I gotta write that one down. He don't look kosher. Go ahead.
He don't look, you know, like he's capable to do the work.
Okay.
But he's not doing the work.
Okay.
He has this kid who he probably pays $10 an hour. I don't know, but that's irrelevant.
Okay.
So anyway, the kid is in my back. I gave
By
him
the way, what was the work that you agreed to have him do?
Oh, okay. He was going to do a cleanup, what we call a cleanup. Remove all the leaves, debris, the back, the front, weed, clean the bushes, clean out my flower beds.
To do like a first initial cleanup.
Yes.
And the first initial cleanup was going to be it cost $250 to pick up the leaves.
Yes.
And clean up. And then what else was he going to do?
Nothing.
You paid him $450. Why'd you pay him?
Oh, he wanted an additional. I gave him $250. He wanted an additional $200 to come back the next day to put weed and feed on my lawn for another $200.
Well, but that's what you agreed to.
Nothing in writing. I says, all
and
right.
Was that what you agreed to verbally?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you were going to pay him $450.
I did.
To do, and you wanted him to come back. According to you, he was supposed to come back the next day?
He was supposed to come back the next day with all the stuff to put on the lawn, the weed and feed. When he left, it wasn't even an hour they were at my house, okay? I was in my den, and I hear him yelling, yo, Jose, come on, let's go, hurry up. All of a sudden,
and
he's
you
gone.
paid up front for everything
Yeah.
before they'd even done anything?
Yes.
You paid the entire contract? It's always a bad idea.
I know,
you should always pay
believe
in
me.
parts, like half and half if you can, and thirds if you can, and fifths if you can.
Never do this again. Unfortunately, but I took him
So
with
he,
such...
after an hour of cleaning up leaves, and that's it?
Never seen him again.
Tell me what's going on here.
Yes, Your Honor. First of all, Jose is not a kid. He's 18 years old.
Stand up, Jose. That's a kid, but anyway, go ahead.
That's a kid.
How long have you two been working together?
Over like 2 months, I would say.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, Your Honor, there was 25 to 30 bags removed, not 2 bags. I was there 3 hours, not 1 hour. The front yard was weeded. She came out. She was busting our chops the whole time.
Okay.
Right up, you know where, and saying these leaves need to be cleaned better. I'm talking there was 3 leaves left on the lawn, and she was telling us they need to be cleaned better. We seeded the lawn. You cannot weed and feed the next day. I have something from a major fertilizer company that says you have to wait 4 weeks to weed and feed.
Can I see that?
Yes.
Had you told her that before, when you guys talked and planned everything out? Did you
Yes,
tell her?
Your Honor.
You
Yes,
told
Your
her,
Honor.
I'm going to be back in 4 weeks?
No, I told her I'll be back later on to take care of this in a couple weeks, yes.
Couple weeks, you said.
Right.
Did you show her your scar?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you tell her about your reformations?
Yes, I'm in recovery for 3 years, and I'm sort of proud of it.
Good for you. And then, but I mean, do you have to tell everybody who stands still long enough to listen?
No.
Okay. Now, what do you think happened? That she just looked at the fact that you were back there smoking cigarettes and telling stories, and Jose is busting his hump, the 18-year-old, and that she and her husband just decide $450 for Jose? Come on. You know, we thought we had this big lawn care company coming, and then, you know, it's poor Jose, you know, who you're subbing it to.
What I think it is, Your Honor, to be honest with you, her husband woke up out of a nap, a little crabby, and got mad that she paid $450 for somebody to do the lawn when he could have done it or hired
Well, if he
somebody.
wasn't sleeping, he might have done it, but
Yeah.
apparently she needed to hire somebody,
He can't.
right? Now, let me ask you a question. Did your husband know how much you were paying them or no?
Not until after.
Really?
Yes.
Am I the only, this is so bizarre to me because like we have a rule in my house that if it's more than a certain amount, we discuss it. You know, if you're gonna spend more than a certain amount on anything, clothes, services, whatever, we discuss it.
I know.
May I go on, Your Honor?
Yeah, I'm still like, I'm trying to, wait, hold on, because I'm having a visual of her
Me
husband
too.
yelling at her when he finds out.
Me too,
All right.
me too.
Wait, did you actually hear it or no?
A little bit of it, yeah. And not only that, but I received harassing phone calls the very next day, that evening. She found me to another job. She found me. How she found me, I'll never know.
Okay.
She was there. You could
Probably
ask
through
her.
Joe. Right?
Bingo.
Joe.
Could have been
Bingo.
whoever, I don't know. But she found me to another job telling me, demanding her money back. I said, the work is done. I'll be back to
Did
finish.
she know that you had seeded?
Yes.
Okay, so, and you told her, I'll be back to do the weed and feed, I can't do it at the same time?
And she told me, I don't want that, I want the money back now. What'd you do? What'd you spend it on? What'd you spend my money on?
Have you been back to her property?
No.
Have you driven by?
No.
Do you know whether there's grass there now and how it's looking based on
I'm
your...
sure there is, but...
Do you have pictures of your property now?
This is the day he got done.
No, do you have pictures of your property now? Have you noticed the grass coming in?
This is the day, a couple of days
I know, I'm just
after.
curious. Have you noticed, has the grass come in your place?
Just spots.
Spots?
Yeah, nothing really fantastic.
What happened when she showed up? Did she show up with her husband at the other job?
Yes.
And what'd they say to you?
He pretty much told me I was going to swim with the fish if I didn't give him his money back.
Swim with the fishes?
Yeah, swim with the fishes.
Did he, what do you mean he pretty much, did he actually use that phrase?
No, he says, you don't want to do this to me. I said, he threatened me? He said, sort of. I said, sort of what? You want to threaten me? I'll call the cops. This is a civil matter. This is not a criminal matter. I'm going to call the cops. I'm going to call the police and have them arrest you for harassing me on another job site.
And what did he say?
He said, I don't care. I want my money back. That was it.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you ever pay a landscaper in full before the job is done?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Don't trust him. Job's got to be done.
Why? What's the point?
Well, I don't get paid before I work, so I would think that it's not ordinary.
It may not be ordinary, but what's behind it? Why wouldn't you pay somebody in full before they do the full job?
Because what if it's not done right? Then you're going to be screwed.
Okay, that's true too. There's another reason, and we will huh?
Half first and half later.
That's a good idea, but I'll explain why later, okay? Going inside the courtroom.
Did he actually say swim with the fishes or no?
No.
Oh. And then,
I'm glad you clarified that.
You know? What's wrong with you? All right, so did you end up leaving that other job site?
Yes.
Yes, I had to rush out of there because she was harassing me.
Like a bat out of hell.
And you're there causing a scene. See, here's what I gotta know. I gotta know that it's the way you say that he did nothing and had no plans to come back, as opposed to the way he says, which is there was a plan, there was a price, and you're having buyer's remorse on what you were paying. See, when I tell you, well, why didn't you stop him from leaving? If you say, well, I was inside. But then you can't have it both ways. You're inside, but you are outside and know he's not seeding. How would you know that he seeded or didn't seed?
Because after he left, there was no seed on my grass. First of all, my sprinklers weren't on yet. The seed would do no good. You know.
Well, then what are you complaining about? If that's true, that you see the little holes in the story. If that's true, why would you insist that the guy seed, weed, and feed in one day? If you, it would do no good because I had no sprinklers that are going to work. You know what happened here? It's you getting a change of heart. You and your husband said, we want our money back. We're not giving you a chance to finish performing the contract. And that's a breach of the contract. So number one, I'm not going to order him to pay you any money back. And number two, I'm not even going to order him to come back to the property because that's a very volatile situation at this point. And I don't think that he has to do it because at the time he was ready, willing, and able to do it, you guys wouldn't let him. That's my finding. I find in favor of the defendant. No counterclaim. Is there a counterclaim?
Yes, Your Honor.
You've got to be kidding me. For what?
Harassment, stress, and aggravation.
Okay, well, you're going to pay me money for harassing, stressing me out, and aggravating me?
No, Your Honor.
Because I could collect from every single litigant if we're going to make that a cause of action. All right, on your lawsuit, 0, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Douglas.
Well, that's it for the plaintiff's lawsuit. You go down in flames here. So step right in here. Yeah, well, yeah, you did.
Very agitated.
You are?
That a fellow like him could do this to somebody else. You know, I gave him $450 in good faith, trusting him, and he did none of the work.
He said he took 25 bags out, and Jose did a lot of work.
That's a complete lie. I hate to say lie, but it was a lie.
Well, why didn't you give him time to finish the job?
Because he's a stone junkie, okay? He's a junkie. He's a drug addict. Do you want somebody like that on your property?
No. Okay, just right there.
Okay?
All right, okay. All right, step right on in here, sir, and step next to me here. So you right over here. Come on. Okay. Are you satisfied how this comes out there?
Yes.
All right, Jose, right next to him, all right? Was that tough in court there going through that?
Tough in court. I didn't get the counterclaim, but I did win. The lady's a little cuckoos.
How did they pass on you? How'd they miss you when they were casting The Godfather? Where were you?
I was missing in action.
You were missing in action? Do me a favor, before you go, just say, leave the gun, take the cannolis. Okay.
Leave the gun, take the cannolis.
All right, let's go to Harvey.
Well, obviously, if you pay in full, there's no incentive to get the job done on time. Also, you should know you can't get pain and suffering for breach of contract. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Lisa Punda. She says she rented her condo to the defendants and is suing them because they ruined her floor. Seems they used the wrong type of product on her laminate floors, thinking they were wood, causing irreversible damage. She's suing for $2,724.03, the amount for her damaged floor. These are the defendants, Antoinette Prevetti and Paul Ponzo. Antoinette says the minute she looked at the plaintiff the first time they met, she knew she was going to be trouble. That said, she was told the floors were made of wood by the plaintiff, was given a specific product to use by her, and did exactly as she was told. The only reason the plaintiff's suing them is because she doesn't have their security money to return to them. They're accused of flooring their landlord. The defendants have filed a countersuit for $5,000 for damaged furniture and sickness due to a flood which caused mold.
Okay, Lisa Punda?
Yes.
You are suing your former tenants Antoinette Prevetti and Paul Ponzo for $2,427.03. You say the estimate to repair your floor minus the security deposit of $1,300 that you've already kept. So you're saying you were damaged by almost $4,000 by something that they did. You have a counterclaim against your former landlord for $8,000. Of course, your statutory max is $5,000 for the return of the security deposit, some damaged furniture, and aggravation for having to live with mold. Let's start with your case first. What happened?
Hi. I've always enjoyed their company as being their landlord. They've always been good tenants, except when all their stuff has moved out after 2 years. The floor wasn't in the condition, nowhere near what it looked like when they started living there. It was a brand new floor.
Okay. When had you put in the floor?
In 2006, but it was
And
vacant
what kind
for
of
a
floor
very
was
long
it?
time.
So it wasn't
A
brand new. It was
laminate.
they just moved out, right?
Yes.
They lived there
moved
2 years.
Right.
So the floor was 2 years old when they got it. And according to you, they did the damage to the floor, which is what? How was the floor damaged?
Well, I have the product she left there. I gave her a thing of this for laminate, and this is for hardwood floor.
Okay.
And you can't use hardwood floor cleaner on a laminate. I also have a bill from the person at Don Joe's Maintenance who tried to fix the problem, but it was to no avail. He
Okay,
couldn't
so
fix
you
it.
gave her a product, and the product that you gave her was
Wasn't this
for
one.
laminates.
It was
Then
for laminate.
you found, after she moved out, she left behind a jar of that, a bottle of that, and that stuff is for real hardwood floors.
And that's why there was so much buildup. I have pictures.
Can I see the pictures?
Before and after.
Okay.
These are before pictures.
Okay.
That's before he came.
The before
The
pictures were taken when?
About 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks after they left.
Okay.
'Cause I
But
was-
before what? These are before and these are after. Usually there's an event.
Oh,
It's
I'm
in between.
sorry. Before the man came to try to remedy the problem.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but how are they going to be any different if the guy didn't remedy the problem? Did he clean?
He did. To no avail could he do it.
So what you want to show me is that the before and after look alike.
Just clean, but it didn't get rid of the buildup. He couldn't do it. He said in order to do that, you would have to soak it, but you can't soak laminate. It's not real wood. It would all get buckled and just come off. It would just come off the foundation.
Okay, what happened here? She says you're using the wrong product and it caused a buildup of what? Product?
The product,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay, go ahead.
I
It
used
can't
what
come
she told me
off.
to use.
Which
she
is?
told me to use Orange Glow.
Which Orange Glow?
Exactly what the bottle she has there.
Okay, but is there? She claims there's an orange glow for laminate and there's an orange glow for wood.
The other wood one, the other floor, I'm a housekeeper by trade. The other one is like $10. It's for hardwood floors. That one's like $3 or $4, and that's for laminate floors.
Oh, okay. So, but can I see the bottle you brought out? So you're saying the bottle that she brought out is in fact for laminate?
This is not
If that's the
laminate.
one
Okay,
that
just
I
hand it
saw.
over.
This is under my sink.
Hold on. Don't talk to each other directly.
I'm not talking.
I was talking to her when I said that. Okay. She says this is what you left under the sink.
No, well, I didn't leave that. I didn't leave nothing in the apartment
Yes,
at
you
all.
did.
Not even
Okay.
one thing.
I have something else of hers.
What else do you have?
Well, because we had to do painting for some damages on the walls. I have pictures of that too.
Now,
And she
what do you
left-
have of hers that she
And
left
she
on?
left this in the
Oh, on
kitchen.
top
What
of the
is it?
refrigerator.
An attitude adjuster.
Yeah.
What's
She
that?
left that.
For my daughter, it's just
What, you
a
hit her
little-
with it?
It was on, no.
What do you mean for your daughter? I don't know what
We
you
just,
mean.
you know, her father brought it for her, teasing her. They
Oh,
went
how old's your
somewhere.
daughter?
17.
Okay.
That was on top of the refrigerator.
It was on top of the refrigerator, so you didn't notice it.
Or
Did you
it
leave
fell
anything
behind,
else?
Maybe.
Did you leave anything else in the apartment?
No.
Okay.
I'm also the third person to use Orange Glow on the floors. There was a tenant before me that used them, and she used Orange Glow also. I have 2 letters. I have a letter from her husband stating that she used Orange Glow. And
Her
there's-
husband?
Yeah, her husband, ex-husband.
Oh, okay. Now that
And,
makes more
um,
sense.
And, well, whatever.
Her ex-husband, you have a letter from her ex-husband. How did you get a letter from her ex-husband?
Well, we kind of made a deal. He wanted the lease from me for the 2-year lease he asked me for the lease prior to her suing me, and I told him no because I didn't want to be involved in it.
Because you guys were going through a divorce?
Yeah, and I didn't want nothing to do with that, so I told him no. But then after I got sued, I said, you write me a note saying that she used Orange Glow, and so I was told to use Orange Glow. Same thing, you know.
How does he know what you were told? How
He was
credible
there.
is that note? Oh my gosh!
He was there.
Look at the circumstances under which that note comes to you. How much stock do you think I would put in that
Well,
note?
I gave him the lease.
I'll tell you what, I write whatever you want me to say, so long as you give me the lease. Oh, that's
Well,
credible.
We made a deal. I wasn't going to give it to him, though, so, you know. I used the Orange Glow she told me to use, this spray bottle. It might be that.
Okay,
I'm not sure.
going to show you this. Where'd the spray bottle go? I'm going to show you the spray bottle. Is that the one you
Let me
used?
see. You know, there's a whole bunch of different ones, so. Yes, this is the one.
Okay,
You
that
can
one
use
the
that on
front said-
laminate
now, okay,
floors.
here's- hand it over. That says hardwood floors in front, but you're saying
Yeah,
it
but
says you
it's
can use
hard-
it on laminate?
They call it hardwood laminate. They
Does
call
it say it
hardwood
can be
floors.
used in the back? I saw you reading the back. Does the back
Yeah.
say laminate?
No, it says oiled or hard or real
Okay, so you
hardwood.
agree this is the one that you were using?
Yes, but
Okay.
I have something else to tell you. Lisa had a flood in the house due to her neglect of not fixing a leak that I asked her to fix from the day I moved in. The flood caused a humongous mess in the house. The guys came in, ripped the sheetrock, wet grout, tile work, grinded it all into the floors, all over the place, made a mess. And she saw it, knows it was like that. I said, Lisa, look at this, look at the floors.
So you're saying the construction debris from
I said
fixing
if
the
there's-
leak?
if there's
Take a look at
any-
these pictures, because there are a lot of damages to the floors.
If there are any imperfections, it's from what they did
Okay.
for 2 days. That's all from the guys.
Link this up for me. How do you prove that using this ruined your floors?
This is the man that tried to remedy the problem.
Okay, it's a maintenance company.
Right.
And the maintenance company writes here in pen, floor should be replaced. Is he going to replace it? Does he
No,
do that kind of work?
He cleans, no, he's
Okay,
not a floor
He
man.
just cleans.
No, he
All
just
right,
cleans.
no,
Rose
floor cannot be stripped
machine.
and should be replaced. Floor has damage from liquid wax. Floor is laminated product and should not be waxed. How do I know if this guy knows what he's talking about? I don't know anything about him. Because I got to tell you, the pictures that I see, they don't show wax buildup, which is, I guess, hard to show in
He
a
said
picture.
that
What they
is-
show is like scratches and stuff like that that have to do with the construction, like they said.
Scratches aren't an issue.
That's right.
Scratches aren't an issue.
No,
You like the
not for
scratches.
me.
You just don't like the wax buildup.
Scratches
You
could be
live with
taken-
all those scratches. Just
It could
a
be
sec.
taken
You
care of.
live with all of these scratches. They don't bother you whatsoever. It's the wax buildup that bothers you. But the scratches and all this, all that's all just fine and hunky dory. You just want the wax buildup taken care of. Okay, I got
He
it.
couldn't do it. This is part of it, though.
Okay, let me just ask you a question. You have $1,300 security deposit, right? And you kept that.
$1,375.
$1,375, and you kept that. Now, you also had a problem, though, with the walls, you said.
Yes.
Okay, and what happened there?
3 out of 5 rooms. The living room walls and the kitchen were fine.
According to this, you ended up paying $698 to
Plus-
paint the place,
plus
plus
the-
another
plus
$162.62.
for the
Now, can you
supplies.
show me how it's their fault that you had to do that? Show me the pictures
Oh,
of
okay.
what they did wrong that means they should pay for that.
This was Danielle's room.
Danielle is who, your teenage daughter?
My daughter.
Yes. These are Danielle's room.
What does she have here? those gummy things to hang up posters or
Yeah,
something, or what did she
they
have?
actually-
What did she have around the closet door? I guess.
It was an actual.
Oh, no.
That was Velcro.
Yeah. Why? Why did she have Velcro
Because
there?
we wanted to close that room off and make it a bedroom. It was actually a dining room.
And Lisa told us to leave that there.
I'm sorry. What did you have
I
there?
had a piece
The
of
Velcro
foam.
was it holding what?
A piece of foam board about an eighth of an inch thick.
When we put it
I mean,
up,
doesn't
she
your
said
lease
that.
say that anything you do, you're going to undo when you leave? Your lease says that, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Did you guys spackle the holes before you left?
Yes.
But you didn't have the paint? You didn't paint?
No, we didn't have that paint.
You have a counterclaim against her for the security deposit for the cost of a large wood bedroom dresser, small wood table, and long wood table. Why does she have to pay you for that?
This is all the stuff that happened in the flood.
All right, so what is it you want to counterclaim her $2,300 on?
For all my furniture that got destroyed.
Because your furniture is destroyed?
And
Show me
because
pictures
of the way I
destroyed
lived
furniture.
after that. Because of the way I lived after that, Your
No,
Honor.
no, wait. We'll get to that in a second. That's
Show
the
her the
third
pictures.
part. I'm on part
Okay.
2, which is all $2,300
All right.
of furniture was destroyed.
give it-
Let me
Show
just give
me
you the
$2,300 of furniture destruction. Okay, this would be the bottom of the furniture that shows that it's rotted. This would be the back, which shows me no offense, but the quality of the furniture. It's sort of
Not the
pressboard
greatest, but
stapled.
it was new.
No, but okay. I don't see how it would even cost $2,300 in its heyday. Did you ever, in the 2 years from the time of the flood, because that happened pretty much upon moving in, right?
No,
From the time of the flood to the time you moved out, did you ever say to her, by the way, you owe me for this furniture?
No.
Right. Okay. When did you say that? When she had the audacity to sue you?
You got it.
Right. Okay. So this is just sort of like you're throwing
When
it
the
in like the
flood
kitchen
happened,
sink.
I had 9 months left on my lease, so I couldn't go nowhere. But she also did.
Sure you do. If you can't live there because part 3 of your lawsuit, the mold is causing sickness and aggravation to the tune of $4,200 and health problems, yeah, you can move out in the middle of your lease. Tell me about that.
There was bugs all in the house because of the mold and the smell.
Can you prove there was mold?
I had to clean it myself.
Is that a no to my
Yes,
question?
no.
Okay, I'm going to take a short recess.
All rise. So should this plaintiff get money for a new floor?
No, absolutely not. Did
Why?
she make the scratches?
No, well, she's not even accusing the defendants of making the scratches.
No, that's ridiculous.
She's saying there was a wax buildup, therefore they should pay.
She shouldn't have to pay for it.
For what?
Because she didn't cause any scratches.
Clearly didn't cause any scratches. Is it enough that there's a wax buildup? Should they have to pay because of a wax buildup?
No way. The floor was already damaged before that, so she's not responsible.
Exactly. You're waxing over damaged floor going inside the courtroom.
Number 1, no, you cannot use Orange Glow hardwood floor everyday cleaner on laminate. That is incorrect. So if this, in fact, is your line of work, you are not very good at it, okay? That's 1. 2, I don't know what it is that she told you to use. I doubt she told you to use hardwood floor because she knows she put in laminate, okay? Number 3, you don't have to replace the floor. There's a way to take that off. It just takes a long time to go ahead and get that residue off. So when I look through all of the evidence that's in front of me, and I see the painting that I don't believe is wear and tear, and the parts of the floor that you will have to now pay somebody to try to get the residue. See, I'm not stupid. There's scratches all over the floor that you say, she has not blamed you for scratches. So there must be something to this theory of yours that the construction debris was a debacle. Okay, and that they weren't careful, because not once has she said she scratched up that floor. All she's talked about is the residue. How it is that the scratches don't bother you, but the residue does, I don't think that's sincere. I don't think that that's legitimate, all right? But, yeah, if there's residue because you used the wrong thing, then you got to pay her for what it's going to cost to take the residue out and pay somebody to do that. So what I find is that you owe her $1,000, of which she already has $1,375. So the net judgment in this case is that you're going to return to her $375 that I find you don't have a right to keep. On your counterclaim against her, your net judgment is $375. And on your claim against her, $1,000 that you already have and not the rest of the money. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Well, let's find out if the plaintiff is satisfied with what she comes out of the courtroom with. Come on in here. Step right over here, okay? Here, come over here. Wait a second before you start talking. Right over here, okay? Back up a little bit. Tell me. What were you saying?
There was no mold. I put that carpet down all by myself with no help from anybody.
After the whole flood, you're saying there was no mold there?
I
No
did it all
mold
by
after the flood?
myself. I offered to put them in a hotel, and they said no.
How about your ex-husband giving her some evidence against you there?
There was no real evidence. There's no evidence.
It's a mutually owned
The-
unit.
What are you pulling out of your pocket here?
This is the Moldex. I've
Moldex.
used it. I'm allergic to mold. This is why it
You always
won't
keep-
happen.
She didn't get
You
paid
take that
for
with
it.
you everywhere?
Because that
There was
baloney.
absolutely
Okay, girls,
no
right
mold.
down this way. Okay, girls. Head right down there, okay. All right, step on in here. You have a big smile on your face. Plan to use that attitude adjuster out here on somebody?
Maybe.
Okay, what about the outcome here?
I used the orange glove because she told me to use the orange glove.
Yeah, you're the professional.
what
The
she
judge
told me to
even said
use.
you're not very good if you didn't know.
Well, you got to do what she told you to do, wouldn't you?
No, I would do what I knew was right if
She
I was a
told-
professional.
Well, there's-
Since you're asking, why didn't you?
I did what she told me to use.
Harvey?
Okay, you know, when you move into a place, you should really establish in writing what kind of cleaning products you use to clean the apartment that you rent. You will avoid disputes like this if you do. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Linda Carmichael. She says she gave the defendant money to move into his apartment and was horrified when she saw the kitchen. It was covered in feces. The stove and cabinets were filthy dirty, and the defendant's super told her she should clean it. Clean it? Ha! She demanded her money back. The defendant refused, so she's suing for $2,290, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Moses McKenzie. He says the plaintiff moved her furniture into the apartment before she paid rent, essentially using the place as her own personal free storage space. Broke a one-year lease and didn't even return his keys immediately. He's a pastor who helps people, and this, unfortunately, is what you get sometimes, a problem tenant trying to scam the system. He's accused of renting a mess.
Litigants have Ms. Horn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Linda and Robert Carmichael. Okay, you have power of attorney for Robert. You are suing Moses McKenzie for $2,290 in storage fees, aggravation, U-Haul, and money that you gave for an apartment that you now want back because you feel that he breached. What's going on?
Well, afternoon, and
I cannot hear you.
I said good afternoon, and yes, I am suing him, and suing him for the security for the apartment, the storage, like you said, the aggravation of me having to put my dad inside of a nursing home due to him not having the apartment ready. Initially,
Why would you have to put your dad in a nursing home over not having an apartment ready? Why don't you just get another
because
apartment?
initially, I'm the only one who's been taking care of my dad for the past 6.5 years.
Right, but the decision about whether your dad should go in a nursing home
It's
is
because
independent
then-
of whether an apartment's available.
Okay, well, he initially, when I spoke to him in September, he said that it would be ready.
Who is going to live there?
It was going to be me, my dad, and my 2 kids.
Okay.
So he breached the contract, well, verbal contract between us. Whereas when I went over there, I saw the apartment. He said that it'd be done, and so then he was leaving to go out of town. So then I was dealing with his super, which was Mr. Jacobs.
Okay, is Mr. Jacob here? Yes, ma'am. That's Mr. Jacob. Okay, go on.
And then the second time when I saw the apartment with the walk around was with Mr. McKenzie. And that's when we discussed that he would move the feces,
Move the feces?
Yeah, like it
Okay,
was
where were the feces?
I had
They
pictures.
needed moving.
It was.
I assume you mean dispose of, but I'm not
Yes,
sure what.
it was in the
what
kitchen
kind
drawers.
Of feces?
It was rats' feces.
Okay, well then
Everywhere.
what we need to do is take care of the rats, not just take care of their feces.
Yes.
Right? Because there's going to be more feces where that came from. All right. So when are you having this discussion with Mr. McKenzie about the rats?
This was when he showed the apartment to me before he left.
Which is what
With dates? I'm not quite sure.
More or less.
More or less, probably like the first week was like the second week of October, because when I saw the apartment.
And you were going to take the apartment effective when?
We were supposed to take the apartment effective October 22nd. He initially told me that I could move in. He said that I could move in.
You were going to be paying rent as of when?
We was the
November
what do you mean?
1st? When was your lease starting? October 22nd? That's an odd date.
Our lease was supposed to start in November.
November 1st. So he was
Yes.
going to let you move your stuff in early on the 22nd. All right.
Yes.
And then when do you go that you decide I don't want this place?
I decided that I didn't want the place on October 30th after the fact of me arguing with his super outside, because I left church to come get the keys and everything from him. to turn around to go in the apartment where the same dead mice was still in the kitchen cabinets. He has not changed the toilet seat. He hasn't painted. It was feces all around the stove, on top of the stove, in the drawers.
Do you have any pictures of anything you're saying?
Yes.
May I see them? Can you come up? Can you tell me about what happens on October 30th?
Yes, Judge, what happened on October the 30th is that she had came and she had got her stuff without me even, knowing it. I was not notified that
Because
she
her
was
stuff
coming.
had been there since when?
Since the second week of October, ma'am.
So she stored her, what is the stuff that she stored there from the
She
second week of
stored-
October to the 30th?
Yeah, she stored a room full of furniture. That she
Furniture?
had. Yes, ma'am.
Where did the furniture come from that you stored early?
The furniture that came there earlier was my belongings. And he told me that I could move my stuff in early, being that the apartment would be ready in 2 weeks. So I had the whole front room with all of my belongings in there so he could paint and do the rest of the work to the house. So like I said, when I went there on the 30th and everything.
What is this a picture of?
That's the feces inside the kitchen
I
drawer.
see feces. What is this a picture of a drawer? What
That's
is
the
it?
kitchen drawer.
Is that feces or mold? Either
That's-
way, it's disgusting. What is that?
Feces.
There's feces? Yes. It's a dead
And are
mouse,
these
ma'am.
pictures she took on October 30th?
I don't know. That's
Well,
what she
she
said.
claims that she was telling you.
No, she
Look at
didn't
this,
tell
look at
me.
this.
She
All
didn't tell me.
So tell me about the
She-
discussion you folks have on October 30th.
Well, we didn't have a discussion on October the 30th. I
What
think that
happened
was the
October
day that she had decided to move. But prior to that,
She didn't tell you why?
No, I live on the 3rd floor in the building, and I've heard a lot of commotion that was going on downstairs.
So
and
you
I
went
looked,
downstairs?
No, I didn't go downstairs. I looked out my door, and I thought it was, and I saw that it was her. But I thought, Your Honor, that she was just coming in, getting some of her stuff, as she often did. Before we purchased her or give her the key, she used to call
When
me.
did you first learn that she didn't want the place?
I never knew that she didn't want to pay.
So she never had a conversation with you?
No, she
Is
never.
it your testimony you had a conversation with him?
I had never had the conversation with Mr. Jacob. I had the conversation with the husband because on that day we all left church.
What's the husband?
The husband is Mr. McKenzie.
Mr. McKenzie?
Yes,
Okay.
Mr. McKenzie.
Apparently your identity as a husband is okay. So tell me about the conversation she has with you on October 30th, Mr. McKenzie.
Judge, Your Honor, on October the 30th, I was in South Carolina. I received a phone call, and Ms. Carmichael, at that time, I left in the apartment paint and some things in my work clothes that I was going to finish the apartment when she moved the stuff out of the room and the rest of the house. I was going to
Okay,
finish.
but she's only going to move more stuff in when she moves in. Why wouldn't it just be painted before she finishes?
All the
Before
rest
she
of the
moves
house
in?
was painted.
Okay.
Everything was painted. So I told her I'm going away. That was the 4th weekend in October. So the 30th was the 5th weekend. So my wife took the lease and everything to Miss Carmichael. And when she did, she got in touch with Jacob. And Jacob lived up on the 3rd floor, so she called him. And when he came down, he saw her throwing stuff out of the apartment. And I told her, and on the lease said she would have the apartment the first week of November.
What's the first week of November? It has to be a date. It can't just be
Yeah,
whenever I feel like it.
It was
Let me
between
see
the
lease.
3rd.
So you still had 3 days to get the place in shape, is what you're saying?
Yes, when I got back in town on the 3rd of November.
I'm sorry. What does the lease say? Yeah, the 3rd. It says the lease begins on the 3rd. So
Okay.
she's there on the 30th, and you're saying I'm not going to take it because it's not going to be ready 3 days from now? 4 days from now?
No, that's not what happened.
Well, on the 30th, you say that you told them I don't want it.
No, on the 30th, what I said was that I spoke to him. And the reason why I had to speak to him was because when his wife and, when Miss McKenzie and
What is
Mr.
the
Jacob
date
gave
that
me
you
the
tell
keys,
him?
I told him,
Stop! What is the date you tell him you don't want it?
Around, if it wasn't November 4th, it was November 5th.
Is it accurate that the date she tells you that she doesn't want the apartment is the 4th or the 5th?
Your Honor, she did not tell me she didn't want the apartment.
Well, at some point, you two talk because she wants her security deposit back.
We talked on that Friday, which would have been 3rd, 4th, 5th. And she called me from the hospital. My dad is sick. My dad in the hospital. I said, what? I was surprised. And her stuff was gone. I said, I don't have anything to do with your dad being in the hospital. And I said, listen, Ms. Carmichael, we don't have to go through this. I said, what I'll do, the $600 you gave me means you already moved, and I stored your furniture for 3 weeks in the apartment. I said, I'll give you $300 of your money back and call it square. She nasty told me, no, I'll see you in court. I said, God bless you. I hung up the phone.
All right. How much was the rent there? It was supposed to be how much?
$1,000.
$1,000. How much, according to you, had she given you?
$600.
How much, according to you, did you give him?
$1,600. I gave him a money order, and then I gave him cash.
Okay. Let me ask both of you a question, because I've never seen this in any case I've ever done in all of my years as a judge. The lease says that $1,000 has been given. You say only $600 was, and you say $1,600 was. I've never had a case where both of you say it's a figure different than the contract. I've had cases where one party says it's different than the contract. How in God's green acres did you sign a lease that says $1,000 was given if it wasn't? And how did you sign a lease that says $1,000 was given if more than that was? What's wrong with you people?
Welcome back to the People's Court, Harvey Levin here. So if you sign a lease and then when the day you move in, you find rat feces in the kitchen, can you break the lease and get your money back?
Absolutely. Yes.
Why do you say?
Because that's disgusting.
It is disgusting, but is it legally, does it give you the right to say, I'm out of here?
Yes, it does.
Because?
They must be breaking some kind of law.
Some kind of law?
Some kind of law.
Okay. Sir?
I don't think that would be included in the lease, so I think there would have to be certain standards of public health.
What, the lease has to say rat feces included?
There's a protection against public health, so that's a public health violation.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Initially, if you asked me a question, when I picked up the my rent receipt from him, which was when I met him and his wife.
You have a receipt? Let me see your
receipts.
receipts. You have receipts for $1,600?
Yes, I have a money order and the receipts and proofs and everything.
Okay, let's see. But you have money order for the same. You have a money order and a receipt for the same money order, or you have separate?
Yes. No, they on the same thing from him on two different
Okay, so that's going to show me $1,600 or $1,000?
Yes, $1,600.
Okay, let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. So I have a receipt for $1,000 and a money order for $600. Show it to him. What was the $600 for?
The $600 was for him, like, so he wouldn't give the apartment away, knowing that he could have had another tenant or another person come purchase the apartment before.
But what was it supposed to be applied to?
It was applied to the security.
How much was the security supposed to be separate? More than that or no?
The security was only supposed to have been $1,000.
Okay, so you hadn't paid the other $400 as security. You paid $600 as security, and then you paid $1,000 for the first month's rent?
Yeah, I had paid then and told him that when he finished the rest of the apartment, I would give him the remaining balance, which was the $400.
Okay, $400.
Yes.
Okay.
So it would have been the month security, which was $1,000, and then a month rent, which was.
Did you rent a U-Haul on the day in question? Because you're suing for a U-Haul.
Yes, I have.
Let me see the U-Haul.
U-Haul fee here, and the storage spot that I paid for from when I went and got this stuff out of. The dates is on here, and then I also have.
What's the date on the? Come on. What's the date on the I'm sorry. Let's go. What's the date?
The date on the U-Haul.
What's the date on the U-Haul?
I have to wait a minute so I could be with you in 1 second.
It's November 2nd. It's not October 30th. It's November 2nd, which is important. Why? Because the lease is supposed to begin the next day. And so if the place isn't ready and it's October 30th and you still have 4 days to get it ready, she has no business pulling out. But if she's pulling out like, the day before she's supposed to move in and the place isn't ready, then she does have a right to pull out if the place, in fact, if I end up agreeing with her that it's not ready. These are feces that are present on the day 24 hours before she's supposed to move in. That's sort of gross. I don't want to move in there.
Your Honor, can I speak?
I'm listening.
Your Honor, from my heart, I'm gonna tell you the naked truth. Here's how she got.
Tell me the naked truth of how you tried to clean the feces.
No,
That's
here's
really
what it is, Your
know.
Honor. I told her I would finish getting the apartment ready when I got back on the 3rd of November.
But that's not acceptable. She's moving in on the 3rd.
She came to me before I left my church. I gave her a $1,000 receipt. She was broke. She didn't have any money.
Do you see that there's a proof of a money order and a receipt?
Your Honor, here's why I gave her the money order. I gave her the money order.
You didn't give her money order. She gave you a money order.
Here's why I gave her a receipt. She came to me and said, Mr. McKenzie, while you are away, I want to go down and have my gas and electric turn on. Will you give me a receipt? I don't have no money. She said, my money
Why
don't...
would you give a receipt to a tenant that they paid $1,000 if they didn't pay $1,000?
Because she came to me with such a good line.
Why
so
would you just
humble.
give her the lease? That's what the lighting company and everybody else would look at as a lease.
I
They
gave
would
her
look
the
at a
lease.
receipt.
See, I gave her the lease out of the goodness of my heart.
Are you kidding me? Why don't you just give her the lease instead of a receipt? See, if I feel like you're a liar, that's not good for you. And you're telling me you gave, as a businessman, a receipt to a tenant that they gave you $1,000 when they didn't because she needed it to turn on the light? That's absurd. She needs the lease to turn on the light, not a receipt.
And your judge, he's my witness.
Your judge, all right.
Your Honor.
Your Honor.
He's my witness. And if you look on the bottom of the lease, you will see where the statement down there, when I get back on the 3rd, she was supposed to give me the rest of the security and the money for the apartment. And I wrote that down on the bottom of the receipt.
Then I guess y'all should have had that apartment in move-in condition before she was moving in. She's there the day before she's moving in, and it's a wreck. I'm looking at the pictures. It's a wreck. It's a wreck.
We
It's not,
agree.
it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. And I'm not going to buy what you're saying when the lady has receipts. I'm supposed to look at a litigant who has receipts for $1,600 and say, no, you don't. No, you don't. It's the exact thing I tell litigants to bring to court. Evidence. She brings the evidence. She's got the receipts. And you've got some cockamamie excuse about how, oh, I just gave her a receipt that says $1,000 just because, so that way she could turn on her light. That's absurd. You give her the lease so she could turn on her light. You're not making any sense to me. I'm not giving you $500 for aggravation. That part of your lawsuit you don't win. The rest of it you do. $1,790. Verdict for the plaintiff.
So the plaintiff has won this verdict here in the People's Court. Not everything she sued for, but what's your reaction?
My reaction is this. She lied, but no love lost. God bless her. And I'm going to leave it there.
She's a liar, but God bless her.
That's it.
What'd she lie about?
That she gave me $1,000 when she did not. I did it out of the goodness of my heart, so trying to help her. And she brought it here and lied and got over. But that's all right.
Why is that all right?
A day coming when she got to give an account of what she said.
Right. Okay, right down this way. Your documents are waiting for you. All right? Okay, Mr. Jacobs? All right, so step on in here. Do you see it the same way he sees it?
Oh, no, but I rebuke the devil. God is good because I got my money.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Was that your money? He says that wasn't your money.
Oh, no.
You just made that up.
You know, clean up the feces before you run out your apartment. Disgusting.
What are you doing going into an apartment that looks like that?
Yes.
In that condition? What are you doing? Even considering that?
Yes, but he said it would be better, it would be clean, but it wasn't. So, he got what he deserved.
Most people would run the other way if they saw that, what you showed in that picture.
Yes.
But you didn't.
No.
Harvey?
Bottom line here is that a place has to be habitable when you move in. It wasn't here. Simple, plaintiff wins. And we'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
These are the plaintiffs, Michael and Francesco Berardini. Michael says the defendant got rid of his son's belongings from a storage unit, and they're suing because what he did wasn't right. The kooky defendant is still sending him bills for that storage unit, which he doesn't even have anymore because the guy sold off all the contents. So in the name of justice, he's suing for $5,000, the statutory maximum. This is the defendant, Joe Cerbone. He says the plaintiffs basically abandoned the unit because they stopped paying the rental fees. He couldn't hold on to the unit any longer. He alerted the plaintiffs to get their stuff. 45 days went by, and well, here they are. He's accused of cleaning house.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. All right. Michael Berardini?
Yes, ma'am.
And Francesco Berardini?
Yes.
You are suing MoveOurStuff.com, represented here by the owner, Joe Cerbone.
Good morning, Your Honor.
For $5,000 for items of yours that you say the defendant inappropriately sold at auction when you had paid up your bill. Tell me what's going on.
About October 2010, my son was looking for a place to storage the furniture, which I bought it. And a friend
You
of
bought
his...
the furniture or you paid for the storage?
Paid for the storage, I bought the furniture, I bought everything.
Okay.
So we find this move stuff storage, and for some reason he fell behind paying his bill.
Your son. Why did you fall behind?
I had other bills that I was paying and just.
How far behind did you fall?
I think it was probably the total. It was like 6 months or so.
Well, how many months did you pay?
I didn't pay any months until.
Oh, you paid no months?
I paid
a total
no
of
months.
no months.
No
Okay.
months.
Go on.
So finally, we have a phone call from Joe saying that my son owns $900. My son says, well, let me call my father, and maybe he can help me. So I called Joe, and I said, listen, can we make some deal? He goes, yeah, why not? But I want you tomorrow to come and pay me. I said, well, if I get there, I get there. Otherwise, it's got to be a Monday. Finally, went there Monday with a friend of mine. He was on a cell phone. I said, Joe, I'm here to pay you money, $600, pay in full. He was going to waive the late fee. But he's on the phone. He's not too happy to see me. I don't understand. And he's still on the cell phone. He gives me a receipt in the car.
Can I see the receipt?
Yeah.
All right. And then what's supposed to happen after
Okay,
that?
so I says to him, I says, excuse me, but where's my stuff? Can I see? He goes, no, yeah, I said, well, I want to get a truck, and I want to take the stuff home. He goes, no, I don't want you to spend that kind of money. I'm in Yonkers twice a week. So the first chance I get, I'll send it down.
Is that how that happened?
No, Your Honor, it's not at all.
Did you ever agree to deliver stuff to his house?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. He was supposed to call me on that Monday to schedule delivery.
All right, and then what happened?
Never called me.
So did you call him?
Yes, Your Honor, and I have proof of the...
Okay, let me see the proof that you called him.
Sure. I have several timestamps. We notate every time we call and send emails and send invoices.
Do you have phone records?
I don't have phone records, but I have a date and timestamp for every phone call or email that was sent.
Okay, but phone records would tell me from
Yes,
the phone
Your Honor.
company,
Yes.
right? Okay. Here's an email to you, Frank. Frankie, when we last spoke, your dad was coming out here to pay for your stuff, and you promised you would have your stuff out by the following Wednesday. I've called you over 5 times now. I'm not a loan center. Call me to get your stuff out of here today, or I will not hold on to your stuff, and you will lose your money. It will be removed from our warehouse by the end of the day. If I don't, I guess it was hear from you.
I never received an email, Your Honor.
Here's the next one, a couple days later. I demand you call me today to discuss your storage. This is not a game. If I don't hear from you by Wednesday of this week, I will not hold on to your stuff any longer. And the $600 your father paid to bring you current up until last month will have been in vain.
I never received an email, Your Honor. I would
I don't
answer.
know. You don't impress me, I got to tell you. I mean, you're the
checked
guy who
it.
doesn't pay his bills. Dad's got to get you out of problems. You
Right.
don't look like you're exactly on top of your game, I got to tell you.
I understand. No, I understand.
How old are you? How old are you?
34.
Okay. Obviously, the dad is running the 34-year-old's life when he needs to, which apparently is often. So why didn't you just call the dad? You didn't have his number?
Your Honor, no, unfortunately, I didn't have the father's number.
Why didn't you
Your
take
Honor.
his number that day? When a little less you talk on the phone, a little more you pay attention to the problem
I
in
should
front
have,
of
Your
you.
Honor.
What is the date that you got rid of the stuff?
There's a note. We put a note when the stuff was actually thrown out.
No. Why don't you just show me the paperwork from the sale?
There was no sale, Your Honor.
Where's the stuff?
We threw his stuff out. That's what I told him was going to happen.
Oh,
He
goodness.
said he
You
auctioned
actually
it
threw the
off.
stuff
He
out?
said
It was, you know, when we spoke, there wasn't really stuff that was anything of any value to him, which is why he was willing to forego it and just let it go.
No, people forego it all the time because they're slack-jawed and or don't have the money. The fact that somebody doesn't pay their storage bill doesn't mean the stuff doesn't have value.
You're right, Your Honor.
According to you, what was in there? Show me the inventory of what got put in there to begin with.
I don't have an inventory because
Why don't you have an
he was
inventory?
never even there on the day of the move, Your Honor. I have unsigned paperwork. He left money on the.
What? Stop. Why do you have unsigned paperwork?
Because he wasn't there on the day of the move.
What? But somebody was.
No, he wasn't.
Somebody turned stuff in.
He left money on the counter, and he.
Why do
wasn't-
you let a customer leave without signing paperwork?
You know, he was never there, Your Honor. When we arrived.
Who left money on the counter? The money fairy?
No, Frankie did.
Right.
If you'd ask him, he wasn't there.
But you, a little less you're on the phone, a little more you're paying attention to the customer in front of you. You know you're supposed to get that paperwork signed.
Sure.
So then the paperwork's not signed.
Correct.
You have no contract. Now tell me about what you did when you disposed of the stuff.
We threw it out.
You just threw it out?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, did you send notice like your state requires you to?
Yes.
You sent notice by certified mail?
Not by certified mail, no.
You didn't?
No, Your Honor.
What does your state require?
State requires certified mail.
Why?
As proof, Your Honor.
Right. This is your business.
I understand, Your Honor.
Why did you not follow what your business is a heavily regulated business?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, there are rules and regulations that you guys have to follow because they want to make sure you don't do anything wrong in
Many,
your
Your
business.
Honor. Yes.
Okay. Why would you not follow what you're supposed to be following in every single one of your cases? Why did you not follow it in this one?
Based on the circumstances and the $300 discount that we gave and the time that had elapsed, I felt that the documentation that we had was proof enough to show that he had no interest in his stuff and he was just basically abusing.
How's that going to work out for you?
May not work out,
right.
Your Honor.
If you were in another state, that would work out just fine. If you could prove that you waited a month and that he still didn't pick it up, and I believed you that he was supposed to make the arrangement, because that's usually how. Usually the world doesn't solve your problems at 34. Usually you got to show a little interest.
I know.
Okay, because you're how old
I
are
was
you,
having
sir?
some couple.
65.
You think the 65-year-old he should be on a beach having a margarita in Florida?
I agree 100%.
Okay?
Absolutely.
He raised his kids. Does he have kids also? Does Frankie have kids?
No.
Oh, wait, did you hear the way he said that?
Please.
You know what? Better he have kids, and at least you have some joy, right? A little joy, a little bouncing Frankie. We could, I mean, that's, I don't know. But the last thing this man needs is to be cleaning up after you. Seriously.
I know, Your Honor.
This cannot be your finest moment. You have to be.
Absolutely not.
All right, because you know what? Take your father out to dinner tonight.
I definitely will.
All right, but now, you listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
This is your business. You have certain rules you got to follow. You don't follow them. What am I, as a court of law, supposed to do? What's a little rule breaking among friends? Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Understandable.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. At what age should a parent cut the cord and say you're on your own, kid?
I think the legal age is 18.
So you would say, hey, you stand or fall then?
Absolutely.
Why is it a bad idea, say, for a parent when the kid's 34 years old to keep bailing him out?
Because they'll just keep asking for more and more.
So if you had a kid and the kid were 30 years old and the kid was just getting in trouble, could you say, look, I'm not going to help you, do that kind of tough love?
Yes.
You could do it?
Yes.
Be hard.
It's tough love.
Tough love. Going inside the courtroom.
Let's talk about what you had in there. When you made this list, and what it talked about was TV, gym systems, CDs, punching bag, kitchen chair, and that came out to $2,851.
Right.
Why did that list not include bedroom furniture and living room furniture?
No, because what happened...
Dad, for once in your life, let this man fend for himself. You are an enabler. Has anybody ever told you that before?
Yeah.
Listen, look at me. I know we love our children, but at some point we are doing severe damage to them.
I've been told that so many times.
I know, but when are you going to do it? It's
don't
tough
know.
love. You got to do it. If you don't do it, he'll never learn how to fend for himself.
You're
Let
right.
him lose some furniture. You know, and then once the guy loses some furniture, next time he's a little more careful about not losing furniture.
Absolutely.
By the way, why did you have to put the furniture in storage to begin with?
Because you was...
I was moving out. I didn't.
Why were you moving out? Were you getting evicted?
No, I just didn't want to stay there anymore.
What did you heard?
Your Honor, when he first contacted me, he was complaining of a lot of issues, and he was getting thrown out of his apartment, Your Honor.
Okay, were you getting thrown out of the apartment?
It was a mutual agreement. He didn't want me there, and I didn't want to be there anymore.
Were you behind on your rent?
No, I wasn't behind on my rent. My rent was on top.
All right. You have no inventory whatsoever, so things are not looking good for you.
Correct.
You say that what was in there was furniture.
Yes, Your Honor, there were definitely no TVs in there. There was a punching bag, there was a bedroom set, and there was a couple items from the living room, but they were
Do you
all...
have receipts?
Nope.
No, I couldn't get the receipt for the...
How about the Bioforce home gym? That's a whole $1,000 right
I
there.
tried it. They don't
We
have
tried.
it.
When did you buy the
I
Bioforce
bought it
home
about
gym?
three years ago.
Why would you put two TVs in there, 12-inch flat screen TV? Why would you put that in storage?
I had nowhere else to put it.
Where were you living?
With my father.
And nobody needs a new TV in there?
No.
37-inch flat screen, 12-inch flat screen?
Nope. I was just staying here, staying with him until I find another place. That's why I left it with Joe.
How long did you end up staying with your dad?
I'm still with him, actually.
Are you making him? Are you working?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I work at a pizzeria.
At what? A pizzeria?
Yeah.
You bring home pizza at least?
Absolutely.
Are you making him pay you?
No, he's not paying nothing.
Why don't you make him contribute?
That's another case because...
It's not another case.
My
Just
wife...
say, your wife won't let you?
My wife, is a son, you know.
You know what you do? You make him contribute, and you put that money in a bank account for him.
Thank you.
But he doesn't
That's what
touch
I
it.
wanted
No,
to do.
your wife is going to be listening, right? Listen to me. You make him contribute, and you put that money in a bank account for him. But he only gets it after he's on his own and has proven himself after X amount of time. That's what you do when you... Actually, hopefully you shouldn't have to do any of this stuff at 34. But if you are getting a late start in teaching your child to be independent, that's how you teach your child to be independent, okay?
You, thank you.
Lordy, lordy. All right, folks. Well, here's what we got. We got you making some efforts to get him to do what he needs to do to protect himself. I believe that you tried to email him. The problem is that that's not good enough. And it's hard for me to feel guilty for you because you're a businessman. You're running a business. How long have you been in this business?
5 years, Your Honor.
You know darn well what you got to do. You didn't do it in many, many different regards in this case. Leads me to believe you're just as slack-jawed as he is, okay? And you're just not doing what you need to do, and there are consequences when you don't do what you need to do. The law is very explicit about it. When you don't do it the way you're supposed to do it, you're going to be responsible for the cost of the merchandise. Now I've got you. You have given things the value that you paid for them, and that's not how it works. Things have depreciated value from being, around for 3 years, all right?
Absolutely.
So what I'm going to do is what we call a little rough justice. And based on the depreciation of the items and some things that, I think I'm being generous on, considering you don't have any receipts, I am going to order you to, and let me be very clear, if you had just done what you were supposed to do, you'd be scot-free.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because I really do believe that he just let it fall by the wayside.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, well, it doesn't do you very good, but because now I am going to make you pay these folks a total of $2,500 verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, here he comes. He's one of the politest litigants we've ever had, but a loser nonetheless. What's your reaction to going down as you did in there?
Seems like a nice kid, but it's a shame. I feel like he got away with murder in this case.
Well, how do you figure that?
Maybe
You're the one who didn't follow the law.
Maybe I should have covered my rear end, but in this particular case,
well, the judge's hands were tied here because you didn't give proper notice, and you have to change the way you do business. What are you going to do about it?
Make sure we notify our customers via certified mail every single time, relentlessly.
Hello. Okay, right down this way. All right, so come on in here and tell me you're satisfied with what you got out of this case?
Very well. She's very nice, and I appreciate her.
How about you? Come on in here. Do the talking here. Are you ready to stand up for yourself and stand on your own 2 feet here?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was slacking a little bit. I was, definitely. And I plan on, moving forward from here.
Okay.
So.
All right, good luck. Where are you taking him to dinner tonight?
Probably Carmine's.
Pizza.
For some steak.
Pizza. Harvey?
She said it. It is tough love. The fact is, we have seen so many cases in the People's Court where the parent comes into court and you just hear that the parent has bailed this kid out over and over and over, and the kid never learns. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
These are the plaintiffs, Nicole and Ryan Charpentier. They say they spent 5 days on their hands and knees cleaning the apartment they were vacating. And despite all that hard work, the defendant refuses to refund their full security deposit. An altercation ensued. The defendant's son ended up punching Ryan. So here they are, embroiled in one big fat mess of a lawsuit. They're suing for $1,150, the amount they're owed. This is the defendant, Tracy. She says she was willing to return most of their security, but the hot-headed plaintiffs demanded all of it or nothing. The place was clean, all right, but what they don't tell you is there were broken windows, pet damages, and other little things that need to be fixed. She can't believe a fistfight broke out over all of this and is just happy to have her day in court to prove she's in the right. She's accused of not giving in.
Douglas, Nicole and Ryan Charpentier?
Yes.
All right, you were suing Tracy. You've asked us not to use your last name, and we'll respect that, for $1,150 security deposit that you say she is wrongfully withholding from you. Tell me what's going on.
In November of 2009, we decided to move back to New York. So.
And what's the relationship between you two?
We're married.
Okay.
And after that, I asked my mother-in-law, Jill, to find us an apartment. She did. We lived there for a year, always paid rent on time. And when we decided to move out, it was because we believed it was an illegal apartment.
Really, or you just found something about it?
I'm sorry?
When did you find out it was an illegal apartment?
When we called the cable company.
Which was in the beginning?
No, it was more towards the end. Our cable was shut off because apparently, I think it was her brother had been messing around with the wires in the basement.
Okay.
And our cable was cut off.
So you called the cable company and they told you?
First, we actually called Tracy several times.
Okay.
Asking her to fix the cable just to
figure it out with the wires.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
Did
that-
she live there too, or no? In the
She
same.
lived in the house. We lived in the garage.
Okay.
Okay. So we did that.
Okay, so you find out by the cable man
Yes.
that living in a garage was probably illegal? That like the whole garage thing wasn't like a big old red flag to the two of you?
Well, it's actually a very nice garage.
Exactly. See, that's my point. It didn't matter that it was illegal. It was a nice place to live at a reasonable rent that you liked. So,
Well, we also
and anyway,
went
look, so you decide to leave. Let's get to the security deposit and what happens.
Um,
Notice isn't an issue in this case, right?
no, we
Right,
gave
okay.
plenty
So
notice.
you do the walkthrough. Tell me about what happens at the walkthrough.
Well, when we did the walkthrough, my wife was not there. She had insisted on we wait for her son.
Is this the son?
No,
my older son.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not here. And we did the walkthrough, and it feels like she was just nitpicking everything. Every hole in the wall, every...
How many holes were in the wall?
I mean, it was just little
You mean like
nails.
the little nail
Little
holes?
nail holes.
Okay.
She said it was going to cost a lot of money to repair those. And then she informs me that we have to pay out of our security deposit to have her wires in her house, or the cable, rewired so that she can get cable
Okay,
back
because
into
you
the
skipped something
apartment.
here. When you talked to the cable company,
Mhm.
did you pay them to rewire?
No,
Okay, so you just stayed without cable?
for a little while.
Why is there rewiring necessary? Did cable rip out wires?
That's exactly what I wanted to know, why
Okay.
the house needed to be rewired. My only assumption is that she wanted to get the illegal cable back into the
Right,
apartment.
but who took the illegal cable out of the apartment?
The cable company.
The cable company. So you know that the cable company ripped out some illegal cable wire.
I guess, yes.
And then so she wanted you to pay to have the illegality reinstated.
Yes.
Okay, go on. Did she mention anything else?
Not to my
Did she ever
knowledge.
mention anything about damages to a window?
Yes, there.
What'd she say about the window?
There was a hinge that was broke on the window.
Okay. Did she say that was your fault?
It was our fault.
Okay, how did the broken hinge
I don't know,
happen?
just by turning it, it just broke off.
Okay, so why are you calling it your fault?
Because I turned it?
Okay, okay, but if you were using it in the way that it was intended,
Yes.
it's not really your fault.
It's preventative
It
maintenance, I guess.
it happened on your watch for sure while
Yes.
you were there. But did you do something to it? Were you breaking in from the outside?
No, absolutely not.
Were you, were you sitting on it to watch TV because they were out of seats in your place?
No.
Okay, all right. Did you ever tell her about it before?
No.
Before? All right, so what was it that she said? Apparently things got nasty at this walkthrough.
Yes.
What was it that she said that caused things to get nasty?
Well, at the point when she said that I had to pay the $600 for the rewiring of her house, I started to get a little angry.
Okay.
And some names were called.
To who?
I called some names to Tracy.
You called her some names.
Yes,
And the son didn't like that.
No, so he kind of got into my face, at which point I pushed him, and he came back at me with a punch.
Okay. What did you expect him to do while you were calling his mother
I know.
a blank?
I hear you.
What did you call her?
I called her landlord.
Oh, I thought it was going to be juicier than that.
No.
I mean, I was waiting for some big,
Okay, it wasn't that bad.
All right, now in the scheme of things, I guess.
There were a lot of things said.
There were, what did he call you? We'll bleep it. I just want to know.
Oh, and
Yeah, that's what I was expecting to hear. Did you say that?
I do not think so. No, I did not.
You don't think so? Okay, that's the answer I need. All right, because I would sort of know if that came out of my mouth.
So who takes advantage of who more? Do landlords take advantage of tenants more or vice versa?
I think landlords take, they take
advantage.
Thank you. They take advantage of tenants more.
Why do you say?
I just think that they feel that they have more rules, or they're
in control. I got it. What do you think?
I think it's the tenants take advantage of the landlords. It's simply a numbers game. There's more votes by the tenants than the landlords.
Got your point there too. Going inside the courtroom.
All right, what's going on? There's an $1,150 deposit. What's going
their
on?
mom can't, okay, just to get to that. When we did the walkthrough, everything was very clean. My issue was the broken windows.
Okay, broken windows. How many windows?
2.
Okay, what was broken about the window?
When you crank the window open, not the crank that you use, but the bar that attaches to the window so that it does open.
Right.
Both of those were broken, but because he had actually admitted to me that he kept getting locked out. He had come to me for the key. I gave him my key. I never had another copy made. He asked my son another time he got locked out, please take me up to Nicole so I can get the key from her, but had told us that he had gone through the window once.
Okay,
I
he
didn't
told
inspect,
who that?
Yes, I didn't
He
inspect
told
the
who
windows.
that?
Myself. He admitted to having to break in, pry them open, and you can see on the little piece of the outside where they were pried
Can I see
open
it?
to get in. I don't actually have, oh, you probably, no, I don't know if you can on this. I have the actual photos, and you want the copy also that I made?
I
Maybe
want
could see
anything
it
you have
better.
to prove the damage to the window. So any
Okay.
proof you have of any of it, whether it's the estimate to get it repaired, everything that you have on
okay.
that,
I
I'd
have
like
more
to see.
than-
Did you break in through the window in order to get in when you forgot your key?
No.
She says you told her you did.
It's complete fabrication.
It's too high.
The window is pretty high. I wouldn't be able to climb up it anyways.
You say I'm going to see prying of it from the outside?
You're not going to see it on the picture. No, I
well,
only
that's
took.
where I need to see it.
I know.
See,
I
because
only took
otherwise,
the
then we're
picture
back to
of-
the crank thing.
I only took the picture of the hinge. The
Right,
crank
but
itself.
what is it that the hinge is off of the crank? What is the problem?
When you crank the window open,
right,
it's like from point A to point B. There's that metal bar that you
Right.
can see in there.
Right.
That is totally detached from the window, so you can't crank the windows.
Well, why doesn't
anymore.
it just get repaired and attached to the window? It's not like you can't fix the
Right,
part.
and I did.
So-
I had it fixed.
Okay, and that's what you say was
I
$600 and something dollars?
No, for whatever the bill is, $488.
Out of curiosity, why, if what you're laying claim to is $488.81, why hasn't the rest of it been sent to them?
Because then it got into threatening conversations. I'm going to sue you. There was a message
Is
from.
this when the fist fight happens?
No, well, this was after. I had gotten a phone call from the mom
What happened at the
threatening to
fist
turn
fight?
me in. It wasn't a big, huge brawl. It was my son actually respectfully took Ryan by his elbow and he said, Ryan, I mean, my children have no problems with them. Said, Ryan, please don't curse at my mom. Why don't you wait outside? Let my mother and I discuss this.
And then?
And that's when he started cursing me out, and he shoved Christopher. And when he shoved Christopher, Christopher went back at him.
And hit him, and then what happened?
Then the two of them just started fighting.
So
and
then there was a
he
fist
was
fight.
here to break it up.
Okay, and you're the breaker-upper? Come on up.
I'm a breaker-upper.
Okay, I'm sort of curious because I like, how did it end? And what did they do and say to each other?
It ended, I walked Ryan to his car, and he was like, he told me he had no problems with me, but he hates my brother, and that's pretty much how it ended.
Okay, and then did anybody call the police?
Yeah, he waited at the end of the block, and he called the police.
All
And
right,
I
what did the
also
police
did.
end up doing?
Nothing. They just said,
Calmed
it's
everybody down?
a small dispute. They wrote down a docket number, and if you wanted to get a copy of the report.
Okay, let us say that somebody pried the window open. How would that cause that mechanism to detach from the window?
That's
like, in other words,
what
I'm going to
thinking,
go with your
force
theory,
to-
because that's the
force
only
to
thing that would
get
make
in.
it his. Yeah, but
I really don't know. All I can go by, honestly, is what was said to me, that he had to
yeah,
climb
he denies
in.
having said that to you
I
ever.
know.
He never. He says I never told my landlord that I, broke into a window.
He didn't come to me and say he pried the window, just that he had to climb in the window to get, because he kept locking himself out. It was more than one occasion he kept locking out. That
What's
my
funny?
older,
Why would you keep locking yourself out?
It happens.
Why does it happen?
I used to smoke a lot, and out of habit,
Which was
I would lock the door behind me.
Without a key?
Sometimes.
Why
And
would,
that's when I get
that be
locked
a
out.
habit to lock a door without a key when you're smoking outside and have to get back
That's
in?
why we had given her the key to the apartment just in case that had happened.
Okay, so there's truth to the theory that you gave her the key to the apartment. You keep knocking on her door to get the key to the apartment every time you kept
I
doing
did
it?
a few times.
Okay, it's starting to not sound so crazy that you might have gone in through a window at some point.
Okay.
How high is this window? You said it was really high, but I'm looking
I
at the
would
picture.
say about 5.5 feet, 6 feet.
I don't think so. I'm looking at the chair that's next to it. How high is the window?
I can see, if I go like this, I can see into the window, so I'm only 5'2".
It's about eye level for my wife.
What's the chair doing next to the window? There's a chair like 6 feet from the window. All right, here's where we are, folks. You know, a lot of times what I do is hunch, because in a civil case, the burden of proof is by a preponderance of the evidence. The plaintiff comes in, the plaintiff has to prove their case. And then when the defense has a defense to it, they have the burden of proof on their issue. You have the burden of proving to me that he broke the window. And I sort of feel like you did. And I know that I'm surprising you because moments ago I was talking like I didn't feel it. But then there were just a couple of things. I'm constantly getting locked out. I'm constantly having to bother them to get access back in. The fact that when you were testifying here, you started off with, yeah, I broke the window. And that's enough. It's not proof to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt, like a criminal case. It's just what's more likely than not. And my gut is telling me that whether it's through prying it open to get in when you forgot your key or some other way, you feel like you broke the window. What I don't understand is why do we end up in a fist fight and a lawsuit if that was the only issue?
That's what I don't
and I tend to
understand.
think that while you're standing there, you're nitpicking about this other thing you're going to keep money for and this other thing you're kind of going to keep money for. And that's when, it shouldn't have happened anyway, but that's when things like broke down where a reasonable resolution would have been that they get back the $661.19 that is remaining on their security deposit. So I'm going to allow you to withhold the amount for the windows because I think you did break the window. And I'm going to order you to return to the plaintiffs $661.19. Verdict to the plaintiffs.
Well, the judge does not allow the landlord to keep the entire security deposit. What's your feeling about giving him back part of that money now?
I'm happy he's getting what's owed to him.
Mm-hmm. How you often fight with your
Never.
tenants? How did that degenerate into a fist fight? How come you couldn't be
I have no
civil
idea.
about it?
It was
were
very
there.
civil until the window issue came up, and he did not feel that he should have to pay for the windows that I believe he broke, that he said he broke.
And it escalated. He escalated it. You guys didn't escalate it over there? You were there.
Yeah, he shoved my brother, and then my brother retaliated back at him. But I would say, yeah, he escalated it.
Thank
All right, right down this way. All right, so come on in here. You broke the windows, says the judge, but you do get some of your security back. So how's that sit with you?
I still feel that it is not a fair call. I did not break the windows, except for how I said I did.
Mm-hmm. All right, over to Harvey.
You need to know pictures are critical. When you move in, take pictures. When you move out, take pictures. And that goes for the landlord and the tenant. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
These are the plaintiffs, Mark and LaToya Palmer. They say the defendant, their landlord, is trying to get away with highway robbery, won't return their security, and won't tell them why she won't return it. Oh, they're fed up and have no other choice but to drag her sorry self into court and to sue for the $1,300 they're owed. This is the defendant, Monica Al-Khatib. She says she doesn't owe them anything, that's for darn sure. She's not trying to keep anybody's money, but she had to spend a lot of time redoing and cleaning up the apartment once they moved out because the place was a big fat mess. She's accused of not giving in.
Okay, Mark and LaToya Palmer, you are suing Monica. You pronounce your last name?
Al-Khatib.
Al-Khatib,
yes,
for $1,300, double the security deposit that you have with her that you say she is unlawfully and wrongfully withholding from you. Tell me what happened.
Well, we moved out. We lived at the apartments that she owned for about 2 years, and we decided we wanted to move, and we gave her notice. 30-day notice, and we told her that,
Now, the 30 days were running from March 15th to April 15th, right?
Yes.
Okay, you ended up moving out a little early, though.
Yes.
You moved out March 26th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we moved out, cleaned up everything, washed down everything. When I had took out all the trash, about 2 weeks later, I had asked her, I texted her, and asked her, what's the situation with the security deposit? And she said that there was some damages that needed to be taken out of the security deposit, and she was getting everything together.
Okay, now according to you, they left some substantial damage, correct?
Yes, ma'am, they did.
What is it you say they damaged?
There was damage to the living room carpet.
What was the damage to the living room carpet?
There was a burn. There was
do
a
you have
burn.
a picture of it?
Yes.
May I see it? Now, she sent you a letter that you received when?
We didn't receive the hard copy letter until May 23rd.
Well, that's odd, because she sent it certified mail May 13th, so how could you receive it May 23rd?
Yeah, we didn't get it until May 23rd.
Because you didn't go pick up your mail, or you got one of those little notices saying, come, you need to sign for this? And
When
you didn't?
we got the notice on the door, it was May 23rd.
Yeah.
I have the notice with me.
Okay, I can't see anything that's just a black rectangle. Can I see an actual picture that shows me evidence? Because if you're going to lay claim to the security deposit, I better see a picture where I can see something.
Okay.
If you can't take that and develop film so that a judge can look at it, then I can't be bothered either.
That's a bigger picture of it.
Can you see something in that one before I look at it? Or is that just a black rectangle that's bigger? Seriously, I'm serious. I'm not being sarcastic.
Okay.
I want to know if I can see evidence in it.
Sure, I mean, if you like to...
You can see it?
Yes, I
okay,
can see
let's
it.
see it. Okay. What am I supposed to see here?
This bottom picture has a burn right towards the, yes.
I want you to come over here.
Okay.
Right here. Okay, show me what I'm supposed to be looking at.
This is the burn right here.
You think I can see that? Why don't you just
I mean,
take a picture I could see? I know you replaced the carpet because I saw your Home Depot receipt.
Right.
Why wouldn't you take a picture that I can see?
I mean, I took it with a digital camera and I printed it out. So I'm not...
Why didn't you go back when you saw that it was garbage, and so that you could actually have evidence? It's not that hard. I understand that sometimes you can see something with your eye that's a little harder in a picture. This is just bad lighting when you took a picture. Go ahead and go back, please. What happened? You guys smoke?
No.
What, somebody in your house smokes?
You want to...
Go ahead, somebody
well,
tell
what
me.
happened was my best friend had come to babysit our daughter one day, and when we came back, that was there on the floor. It really was something on the floor. It was like, it do look like a burn, and it was on the floor, and we asked him what happened, and to this day, we don't know what happened. But
wait, the babysitter said, I don't know. Did you look for burn marks on your baby? And did you make sure that it...
No, yeah, the baby was... There was
what
a
I
tag.
think is he was trying to iron something and put that's what I think.
Right,
but
probably.
he didn't tell him.
Right, and that was in where, in the living room?
Yes.
Boy, you got lucky right now. All right, next. What else do you get? Do you have the letter that you sent them? I have it, I'm sorry. Okay. So you send them a letter before, and you sent a certified mail May 13th.
Yes, I did.
I don't know when it ends up getting there, but you sent a certified mail May 13th. You have until the 15th to send it.
Correct.
And you,
And I do
you
have,
sent it. So that really, I know one of the things you complain about in your complaint is, and that's why you're suing for double, is that you feel that she didn't comply with time requirements in your state. In your state of Pennsylvania, there's a certain requirement that within a certain number of days, just like in a lot of states, within 30 days, there be a list of damages for which the landlord intends to keep the money, an itemized list explaining things. Now, you're apparently calling your time, like you start the time from the day you moved out, right? Yeah, no. It's from the day your tenancy ends. And your tenancy, you chose to move out on the 26th, but you had until the 15th. I guess your new lease had already started, so you might as well pick.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, but it's until the 15th, because you were paid up until April 15th. Right, so that's when it runs from. So we don't really have a time issue in this case. We really have a pure, is this your fault or isn't it your fault issue? The damages that she's talking about. So there's a carpet burns, and then the next thing you're complaining about is a tile missing in the bathroom.
Yes.
All right, what kind of tile is this? Linoleum tile or ceramic tile or
It was
what?
linoleum tile.
Linoleum tile. How
Yes.
is it that it would be $84 for a linoleum tile missing in an extreme corner of the bathroom? I think that's what you're photographing here. Again, it's
Right.
hard to tell by some pipes.
Well,
Why
I had to actually replace the whole floor.
Okay,
because
well, maybe
I
you
didn't
should have
it-
anyway, because if the linoleum tile came off to begin with, maybe it needed replacing. Why would that ever be their fault? Cleanup, $75. And what you're saying, can I see pictures of the cleanup that was required? The only thing I have pictures of are some menus in a drawer and a few cans that they left. So show me the cleanup. Okay, what are these pictures of? You took a picture of the Roach Hotel, whatever this is? Okay.
And the dirty, I mean, the dirtiness of the kitchen, the bathroom was dirty. The entire apartment needed to be repainted, the entire apartment, because it was not cleaned when they moved out.
You're complaining that they left dirt underneath the refrigerator?
No, I'm complaining that there were rodent droppings in the back of the refrigerator and all on the side of the refrigerator.
Okay. Well, if I found rodents in an apartment you were renting to me, wouldn't I call you to go get an
Yes,
exterminator?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
They did not report that there were any rodent droppings in the apartment.
Did you ever see mouse droppings in the apartment?
We just went to the store to get the
Well, that'll show you.
traps. You know, just anybody else, you know, go to the Kmart or Walmart and get a trap.
Anybody else, I'd be screaming, yee, on top of a chair and calling my landlord. I don't know
Your
about
Honor,
anybody
can I
else.
say something, please?
Yeah.
In terms of the tile was
The stove you could have cleaned up a little
the
better.
tile was installed the day before they moved into the apartment.
Those pictures was taken the day
Okay.
that we moved out. We came back the next day to clean up. That's when she was supposed to do the walkthrough.
No, those pictures were taken on that Sunday after they moved out.
So the defendant tried taking pictures, but the pictures kind of were lousy. Does that cut it now in court? Can she withhold that security?
No, that's too bad. She should buy a better camera. You can't, you know.
Is her word enough?
No, you gotta have evidence.
Is all you have is pictures? Pictures are the key.
Nope, you have to have burden of proof, and you have to have a good burden of proof. If you don't have proof, that's it. Tough luck.
Who might argue with them going inside the courtroom?
Do you have your pictures I can look at after you moved out?
No, we didn't take none because the apartment was left fine to us.
And I also
Well,
have
let me just
pictures-
explain something to you. In the future, I suggest you take a picture. Do you have phones? Do your phones take pictures? Okay, so it's really easy now, right? Whenever you leave an apartment, first of all, whenever you move into an apartment, take pictures. So you can document exactly what it looked like so you don't get blamed for anything that's there already, okay? And then when you leave, also take pictures, all right?
Your Honor, can I
However,
show
from
you
your
a
own
pic-
testimony, you know, and I appreciate your honesty, there was a problem with a, burn mark on one of the carpeting. So clearly she's going to get that. She's going to get the installation.
Your Honor,
This
can I
one's
show
it.
you-
No.
Okay.
Now's the part where you both stop talking and I rule, and then I leave, and then you leave. That's the part we're at now. Okay? We're not dealing with a timing issue, which would entitle you to sue for double because of what the facts I already went over. Your actual security deposit is $650. I find that she's entitled to deduct the one rug, the installation of that rug, and a cleaning fee from that. That leaves $342.60 that should have been paid to you. So I am ordering her to pay, I'm sorry, yes, $342.60 that I am ordering her to pay to you. So verdict for the plaintiff in the amount of $342.60.
Well, the defendant will be paying back some money to the plaintiff. Step on in here. It's not everything they sued for, but what's your reaction to the outcome?
I'm just glad it's over with. You know,
Was it that difficult to deal with?
it was difficult to
Why?
deal with. It took quite some time to do all of the repairs in the apartment that they damaged.
Can you
So-
take better pictures of the carpet next
Oh,
time?
definitely.
can?
But I, you know, I'm a very honest person, and I know what I took, and I know what they did. So, I'm glad it's
All right.
over.
All right. All right, step around the corner there and sign your documents on the way out of here. All right, so come on in here. She ruled. You accept. Now it's time to leave.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You satisfied with what you got? I mean, you didn't get everything you sued for, 13.
Yeah, well, you know what? All we really wanted was our rightfully, due. The burn in the carpet, we recognized that, if she would have said, that was that, we would have understood that, no problem.
She wouldn't have gotten,
Yeah, we wouldn't even have to go
you-
this far.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a liar. She is.
That's why we got more than she was trying to give us, because she was trying to clearly pull some fast ones on us. That's why when she first sent something, then I asked for receipts. Now all of a sudden the amounts changed.
And she need to be thanking us for what she did get, because I didn't have to tell the truth.
Right. Let's go to the street, Harvey.
Okay, we've talked about pictures a lot, but pictures are the key to a lot of these cases. And when we talk about this, everybody thinks, oh, the tenant's the only one that should take pictures. Both sides need to take them. And let me make it clear, when you move into an apartment, excuse me, I'm working here. When you move into an apartment, you need to take pictures, both the landlord and the tenant. And when you move out, you have to take pictures. And that way you can compare what it looked like when you moved in and when you moved out. And then there's going to be no dispute over who damaged what. We'll see you next time.